It's Broadleaf Bullies talking shit. 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 It's Broadleaf Bullies.
All right, there we go.
All right.
Our new music, our season 2 new music.
Yeah.
Thanks to Lars.
Thanks to Lars, the man in
Thanks.
charge.
To Lars Tittens.
Broadleaf Bullies
I don't have words.
talking shit. So,
Ah.
what's going on, guys?
A lot.
It's never ending.
It's
I'm
always
just
like
happy
that.
I was able to make it in time.
We are very happy.
I know. Surprise, surprise.
It's like a
Jessica's
Festivus miracle.
That's it. You slid in like my old co-host at the last second. You know. Well, not co-host of this show, the other show.
Yeah, yes.
Yeah.
Why are we saying that
Yeah, I
kind of
don't
stuff?
know.
Why are you trying?
Yeah.
That you have to edit out.
Yeah.
No,
Yes.
It will
No.
Yes.
happen.
Yes.
can't do
No.
it now.
Yes, you can.
So,
Well, I would, hey, listen, man, I never knew Brad to be late.
yeah. Brad, oh my God. Brad Reith. I'm from Zeal Cigars, zealcigars.com. If anybody wants to, just if Brad tells you 7 o'clock something, Brad's going to be on about 7:35. So, Brad.
And it's always that
broadcast-
calibration of the fact he lives in Arizona. They do not obey any type of freaking fall back, spring forward.
It sucks because this is the time of year Brad is 3 hours. So I like it when the time. I hate it when the time changes because it gets darker earlier. But Brad is an hour closer to me, and I feel more loved when he's an hour closer to me.
Yeah.
Um.
When I had him on the show the one time, it was the same thing. I was like, bro. He's like 7:30, right? I go Eastern, not Eastern.
Yeah. Why would I give it in your time?
Right.
That's why it's and I find myself now the more shows that I do, like everywhere, text message, emails. I could be emailing you, and we're in the same time, and I'll put 7 p.m. Eastern time.
I always add
I
that.
think it's just natural now to add the Eastern Standard.
You have to.
It is when it's fair. Kerr, you're dealing with all over Nicaragua, different factories. It's me with makers and people from around the world. Yeah, it's
Even for work, I'm used to doing it from work because I'm dealing with Austria, Israel,
Oh, okay.
freaking Austria. I mean, New Zealand's just when you get in that part of the world where you thought Nicaragua was.
Yeah. So
It gets
now do
crazy.
they understand?
They're
Now
like-
do they? Because a lot of times, if I know if I'm emailing someone in Europe, I'll put Florida, like Eastern time, Florida, because sometimes I don't know if they don't understand what Eastern time zone is, if they're going.
The best way to put it for them, since Florida does have, it's always Eastern New York.
Oh, Eastern New York.
New York
Okay.
Eastern, yeah, because they associate like New York Eastern and even like Chicago Central.
Oh, okay.
It's like major cities like that.
Okay. So I've been doing Eastern Florida because some people like Eastern, like question mark. Like,
Because on the world clock it says New York.
New York EST.
Yeah.
does it?
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yep. It's and then it'll say either Texas or either Dallas, or I go with Chicago every time, and then California is just California. So
All right, I'll remember that. New York Eastern time.
Yep.
So,
I just EST, yeah, because it's crazy. So Jess,
Yes.
you made it.
I made it. I'm so excited.
What do
for
you do? You
myself.
playing Tetris or something?
No,
She-
I'm trying to post our broadleaf stuff on
How far is your
Instagram.
workplace from home? Like how fast?
It
did you have
it
to drive?
depends. If there's no traffic, I can get home in about 20 minutes.
Going how
It-
fast?
Like 80.
80.
No, I mean
a
at least
25?
six,
You-
60, 65.
Yeah,
can get,
if you do the speed limit, you can be at her work in about 23 minutes.
right. But
That's-
when all the dingleberries are out, which is almost always, and it doesn't matter which direction I go, there's 2 different ways I can get home. It takes me usually about 35 minutes. But nobody was on the road. Not one person.
Yeah.
I was like, and then it was
wherever
pouring
they're
the
gonna be
rain.
this weekend. It's beautiful today. It's so nice and cool. It's been in the 60s and 70s, no humidity. Oh my gosh, for the first day in a long time. It's been so ungodly hot and humid.
It was hot today.
Yeah, it was hot and humid today. We're down
We had
here
rain
anyways.
on Friday.
It's raining right. It's raining right now.
Yeah, it just started to rain as I was like 2 minutes before I got home. It started to pour, and I was like,
I find that when it's a holiday weekend and everybody has off but me and it rains, I find joy in that. Like it comforts me a little bit. It's like, yeah. You know.
But whoever did do anything today, like throughout the day, had an awesome day to do it.
Yeah.
Because, you know,
It's
it's like,
perfect.
yeah, today was a good day here in this area for anybody to go boating and stuff. It did not. The skies were beautiful, but, you know, most people by the time it's like 6 o'clock start packing stuff up, and unless they were planning on doing like a late cookout or something. But, you know, most people cook out early in the day and then they're trash and then they fall asleep.
Yeah.
You know, the early birds. So, but yeah, I was happy to be able to get out of there a little early. I'm sick of seeing
Now, are you
my
guys
work.
working tomorrow?
Yeah, I got to work
Yeah.
tomorrow. Yeah, so do you.
Yep, same
Yeah,
here.
I'm on call until Tuesday. So we're just going to be hanging out here, finish up some yard work.
I don't have to work.
No, Carrie's off.
Well, you know me though. I always work no matter what.
Yeah.
I worked a little bit today.
Try to stay ahead of the game if that's
Yeah.
possible.
Yeah.
Have
Yeah,
to.
it doesn't. I know at least for me on my end, like the social media and that side, you got to work on all the time. Like you get a little far behind and you're screwed. Like I got behind last month, and I'm still not caught up. I've got like 4 videos that I've got to make, like part 2s of some stuff, and I got screwed on some days off, and
I'm about to make a like a little video
Oh yeah, Jessica's gonna
of
do her own.
how to. I'm learning how to burn the wood on the barn door. And I'm going to do it on some practice pieces, and then I'm gonna do it. So Kevin's giving me the reins, and I'm so excited because I really wanted to try doing this a while ago. Oh, I already know I'm going to take my time, and I want his help. You know, I want him to to show me and give me tips, and like I've been watching videos and stuff, and I'm like super excited about burning this goddamn barn.
Yeah,
barn
so
door.
it's called-
I'd be scared. Something that
Yeah.
big and expensive.
I'm so excited.
But if you watch it, because it's called Shoshugiban, is the method, and they
Shoshugiban.
actually so they actually torch the piece of wood until it looks like charcoal, and then they scrape it off, and then they just that's when the grain.
And then there's
that's what actually protects
people
the
who
wood.
do pyrography, which is like it could be burned onto anything like leather or wood, all that stuff. So I don't know. I've been watching quite a bit of stuff.
You do the whole door like that?
I'm gonna do the whole door where basically I'm burning the grain to bring the darkness of the grain. Like I'm not gonna try. Like okay, if you watch some
over
videos,
here.
they char it like till it's black. I don't want it to be that dark. I don't want it to be like dark. Like
Right.
I don't know if you can.
It brings
even
out
see
the
that.
grain in the wood because
It just brings out the grain.
Like I made a stand for my laptop and it's made out of wood, and I was just with the torch lighter. I was bored one day and just kind of like going back and forth with it, and it does the same thing. That's just do it outside and away from the house, please, because I don't want to hear.
Yes, we are.
The next videos of Kevin outside, like with the rum and coke one hand, going, Jess, really, seriously?
Yeah.
No,
so,
I'm
so,
not
so,
going to do anything without his
Yeah,
guidance.
so I'm gonna get her some saw, set her up some sawhorses, so it's at a little bit below waist level, so she can work over it, get on both sides all the way around.
And I already
the
know-
key is just having a little spray bottle, a little mister, and just squirt out the flames.
I already know that I'm going to be very cautious in the beginning, but we're going to do some test pieces so I can kind of have an idea of like how I'm
then-
comfortable moving the.
and then the
torch.
door is double-sided, so she can do the backside.
I like the confidence he has.
So you start with the backside, and then
They can
you know,
just
and
flip it if it gets messed up.
I'm still trying to figure. I'm trying to figure out the door being double-sided has anything to do with burning down the house. Like the one side
not doing
can't
no,
catch
no.
fire,
We're not
but the
doing
one
that.
side
We're not doing that.
is dangerous.
No, I'm just saying, you know, so she'll have her practice pieces, and then she'll have an entire door to practice
Right.
on the back side of it, and then when we flip
Which
it
is
over,
into our room.
then
is
by
basically what
then, you know, by the time she gets to the front side,
okay,
she'll have it
Lenny, hold on
perfected.
1 second. So listen, or whatever that guy's name is from Big Bang Theory. What's his name? Sheldon.
Lenny's from Mice of Men.
I don't know why I
That's
said
what I was
Lenny, but
thinking,
Sheldon, calm down. The
George
back
is
of
my
the
friend.
door is like he means because it's facing into our room, so
Yeah, I
no
know.
one's really ever going to
Yeah,
see
No,
it.
I got
Kerr
that.
knows what the back
Well,
of the door
okay,
I know
is.
the fucking back of the
kept
door is.
saying it.
I was goofing around. Apparently,
Oh.
my jokes missed the mark all fucking week.
Yeah.
Because
Sorry.
I was talking more about. Never mind. Freaking. Let's start our
Next
intro.
All right. I'm Kevin.
I'm Jessie.
I'm Kerr,
I'm Jen.
and we are
The
the
Broadleaf
Broadleaf
Bullies.
Bullies. Early. Okay. What the hell? The thing didn't work.
I don't know. I feel like we're delayed though in our
No,
video.
we're not. All right. Let's try that again. Sorry, guys.
All right, you ready?
Take two.
Wait, hold on. Let's see. What the fuck? This thing doesn't want to work. Hold on.
It's
All right. Go.
I'm Kevin.
I'm Jessie.
I'm Kerr,
I'm Jen.
and we are the
The
Broadleaf
Broadleaf
Bullies. Son of a bitch.
Video not found.
All right. Keep talking. Keep talking.
Well, anyway, that's what's exciting for me. I can't wait to light some stuff on fire.
And then I got her a kick-ass torch too. Like, it's not gonna be a fucking round. It's, you know,
Like
I'm
the big ones you
excited.
see on the.
Well, I was curious about like what kind of torch you're getting, like
All
what
right,
you're
so-
using, rather.
So if it was me doing it, I would have got it like the torch that you like the weed killer. You know, you see the people with the
Yeah.
big, you know, the big wand, and then it hooks up to your propane tank. So instead, you know, and those are fairly cheap, like $35. So I got her a torch from a company. It's made for searing meat and for food grade. A little more
Okay.
expensive. It's like $100, but it has a really wide torch head, but it fits on like a Coleman camping propane.
Oh, nice.
So it's a little bit more.
It'll be easier to handle as well.
Yeah, and then plus I have like the smaller one that you're probably familiar with, like plumbers use, like the small cans you get at Home Depot with like
Alright.
the pencil torch.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll have both of those for her.
Okay.
Sounds interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting. All
Who
right.
you cycling through your
No, I have no idea. The intro wasn't there. It was, and I don't know why. But now it's all available. So
Oh no, I thought you were cycling through your light because you guys got all dark.
now I was cycling through trying to find the intro because it was showing up as not available. And I'm like, so I went in. It's like it's still in this spot. So it just. I
So we're
think
doing
I
take
think Ecam was getting he's a little moody today.
So we're doing take.
We're doing take 3.
Are we ready?
Yeah.
Go. I'm Kevin.
I'm Jessie.
I'm Kerr,
I'm Jen.
and we are
The
Broadleaf
Broadleaf
Bullies.
We talk. You listen. We are the Broadleaf Bullies. And here's your hosts, Kev, Kerr, Jessie, and Jen.
But it'll have it. You know, I'll go to hit. It'll be like file not available. Locate the file, and I'm like, I haven't moved it in ages.
So what from last week do we need to continue?
All right. Okay.
No, it
First of
wasn't
all,
from last week. It
yeah,
was the week before.
you know, yeah, I think so. But hold on one
Well, the
second. Hey,
week
Kerr.
before that, I
you
was
know-
at on. So
Yes,
I don't know what
Kevin.
that would be.
You know, I've never asked. What is that little plaque behind you? What is that, like a rabbit's head? What is that thing?
That is that's the first deer my brother ever shot.
Was it a baby?
No, what's funny is
It's not Bambi.
No, did you say baby?
Yeah, was it? It looks
No.
so tiny.
Well, what the joke about it
small?
was, now you gotta remember, my brother was a big hunter, big fisherman.
Yeah.
So his first deer he got in buck season, it had broken antlers.
Yeah.
So my uncle had it mounted on this ridiculously large plaque to make it look even more ridiculous because of the antlers being broken off. Because usually, like, I have other, when my brother passed, I wanted some things to remember him, and this is the one that really stood out the most because it was his first deer he ever shot.
Oh, okay.
So I have other, he's shot other deer with other racks, but this being his first one was special. But the joke that my uncle played was putting it on such a ridiculously large
Yeah. Okay.
thing. So it's literally, it should not even be on something that big. And so that's why it looks ridiculous. And when my uncle was like, "We got your first, rack mounted, Tony," and gave it to him, and it was just like, "You son of a bitch!" Like, fuck.
Yeah. So very deceiving about like the sign. I'm like, I don't know if I've ever noticed or if it's always there. And I'm like, why is it so small?
I keep it there. It's my brother's.
Yeah.
He's,
Okay.
But yeah, it was very, very comical. I actually have a couple of racks. One I want to get mounted. I'm going to send it up to Ned's Cigar Shop in Newtown. Matt Arlen, the owner, and his son actually made it to my brother's funeral service. Actually came up from Newtown to pay his respects, and I thought, man, that was very special. Really good guys, yeah. He and his son Zach. So, and Ned's is just one of those shops where they have pictures and everything, different things hanging up. And I think, one of my brother's racks would look pretty cool up there.
Oh, right.
And
on.
Matt's a big outdoorsman too, so
okay. He'll appreciate it.
Oh, big time, yeah.
Yeah.
So now, 2 weeks ago, apparently something was said, and Jessica wants to continue it. Didn't you say that there's some continuation?
Oh, maybe it wasn't 2 weeks ago. Maybe it was last week.
Yeah,
the walkie-talkies.
Yeah.
You guys never told us why you have these little
It's
tiny
so uneventful, but I'll tell it.
I think it was right. Well, hold on.
Oh,
Let's see if Joe's still on.
I doubt he turned it off.
Joey, there?
I know the other ones are turned off.
We got these. God, you tell us where you bought.
So, as you know, Killian had his first sleepover last Saturday night.
Yeah.
And the theme, because I like doing theme anything, was indoor camping. So, very apropos, because we already have a ridiculously large teepee that he likes to play in our house. So I figured with that, had to get some accessories. Amazon is always delivering to us. So I found a set of 4 walkie-talkies, all different colors. They're like high grade, very inexpensive, like have 21 channels, flashlights on them. So Killian, of course, just likes pressing the buttons, but we were actually using them, and they work really well. So we put one, since Joe never listens when we call for him, or God forbid he answers his phone when we call him, we put one up in his room and said, now we can get a hold of you, which probably the battery's dead or he turned it off. But that's where the walkie-talkie came from. So we have 3 other ones in the house, but they really do work great.
Yeah.
So do you ever recycle your themes, or just every time Killian come over, it costs you $100?
Well,
really, 100? Thanks, Kev. That's
yeah,
an under fucking.
We haven't recycled yet, only because we've only done a birthday and a first sleepover. But I want to expand the indoor camping because there were more things I wanted to get. But I did have a cap to what I was spending for the first sleepover.
Who fucking capped it?
I
didn't
did.
cap shit.
To the point of, I actually had ordered stuff from Amazon, and it was supposed to be delivered the day of the sleepover on Saturday. We've been getting our Amazon deliveries so freaking late, like 9:30, 10 o'clock at night. So I went to Target, found something even better, which was an upgrade, bought it, and figured, I'll just return the Amazon
never
stuff.
returned it.
Nope. Killian was here, Amazon delivery. We opened it. Bam. We now have 2 campsites in our living room.
I come in the house, so I sit down, and I'm
It's
like,
freaking great.
I come in and I sit down. I'm like, all right, yeah, it's a
shit.
campsite. I'm like, why are there 2 different campsites? And she goes, well, we got 2. I go, no,
I was
you were
planning.
returning the other one. She's like, well, Killy really liked this.
Yeah.
And I'm like, well, no. Don't
There were
blame
some
3-year-old.
accessories on the Amazon one. The quality wasn't as good, but it kind of added to the whole ambiance of it. But he really had a blast, and that's where the walkie-talkies came from.
This
so
is-
I actually had to clear out our downstairs closet and make it into a toy
sorry.
room
It's up here.
to,
Yeah.
you know, store all his shit because we just have so much stuff for him.
So when the apocalypse occurs,
Yeah.
I'm gonna be the freaking
Pink.
guy with the freaking shotgun and a camo with
We
a
have blue,
pink fucking
green,
thing.
orange, and pink.
You know, going, oh shit, man. I think I dropped my ammo. Well, here, hold on. Okay, I got it. You know. Hey, Jen, we got some intruders. We got some zombies on the outside.
He had a blast though, and he slept incredibly well. Not one boo-boo lip, tear, nothing. He was so
That's
excited
good.
all night.
I had the
Woke up
boo-boo lip.
great in the morning, just chattering at 6:45.
I had the
Came
boo-boo
downstairs.
lip,
You
though.
did.
Well, because
We
I was
woke you up.
told they're gonna
Camp downstairs.
they're gonna sleep at the campsite,
That was my plan.
right? And then I
In the
had the
living
bed
room.
by myself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm
Didn't
like,
happen.
Yeah,
you know,
I see where that's going.
the campsite, the $400 effing campsite. Guess who slept in a campsite?
Carrie.
This guy.
Me.
While freaking her and Killian had the freaking nice bed upstairs, and I'm on the couch.
Yeah.
Like, this sucks. Like, I didn't sign up for this.
And our
fucking
new
camping.
couch we love, but to sleep on it for longer than a nap, the comfort's not the same as our sectional.
horrible.
I can nap on it with no problem for
I
a couple
wake
hours,
up
but
with
to
like
sleep on it,
stiff neck, stiff
Yeah.
shoulder. My arm falls asleep, and it's like at my age now, it takes forever for my arm to wake up. So I'm like trying to get coffee, and it's you know.
And Jen and Killian come downstairs. Oh!
Yeah,
We
no.
were-
They actually came downstairs, and she's like, "Boy, Killian slept well. He didn't fuss
No,
at all,
no.
and I slept well." And he woke up talking, and I'm like,
he woke up so happy, not even
I'm glad-
asking
I'm
for
glad
his
Killian-
mama, just
I'm
The only,
glad
the only
Killian-
thing that would have
Fed
made it worse.
Cooper.
Yeah. The only thing that'd make it worse if you come downstairs. Oh, hey, Kerr, Killian pissed your side of the bed.
he even he had a onesie on, even a dry onesie or a pull up, a dry pull
Kev,
up.
you know what, man?
He did great.
It was like they came down like not only did they come down chattering, I was still asleep,
Yeah.
and they woke me up because I
Well,
finally chill for a second. Let me get a word in. Take a breath. You're like a frog. You breathe through your skin. I literally like I finally got to sleep at like 3 a.m. because I was tossing and turning and everything else, and then all of a sudden I hear this. Grunk's asleep because they call me Grunk, Great Uncle Kerr.
Yeah.
Grunk's asleep. Be quiet. Hey, Grunk. Hey, I'm like, I guess that.
And then he
my
wants to
God.
feed Cooper, so you're hearing the food because it's only a couple morsels in the cup. So he keeps digging into the dog food and dumping it at a high level, so it makes all the noise going into the metal dish.
That is for some reason. I don't know what it is. The first 5 to 10 minutes when I wake up, I have very sensitive hearing,
Yeah.
and it sounds really stupid because I'm a morning person. I'm up early. I'm chipper. Not 3 and fucking, but for some reason, it's like it really just is so sensitive. So whenever Jen takes the dog food and puts the dog food into the metal dish, it literally just it sounds like, you know, like we used to wear football helmets, and you'd throw a rock against the football helmet, it just goes bing and it tings. It's like that. It is just
Oh my
so
God.
tinny. And what's the other thing? It's that there's two things in the morning.
but
The
our
grinder.
grinder's quieter now that we have
The
our
old
Smeg
grinder. It
That
was
was
like
loud.
it literally sounded like she put the grinder right next to my ear and just
It was a
Someone
freaking
busting
loud
in your
ass-
bedroom with a weed eater. You know, that's what it sounds like.
So
Oh
the
my
new
More or
the new
less.
coffee grinder, nice and quiet. Killian wanted to feed the animals. He wanted to play with Grunk while I cooked us breakfast.
yeah. I got breakfast out of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He ate all his breakfast. with
So
no
there you go,
problem.
Kevin.
He had
That's
a
your
great
fucking
day.
story. Thanks for asking about the walkie-talkies.
So that's where the walkie-talkie came from. And I believe the second part of what we want to talk about in past were the rats.
The rats.
because we were talking
We
about.
talked about that.
No, Kevin said we'll do this on the next episode because we talked about.
They threw shit at each other.
We were talking about how
Oh,
Joe's
that's
rats
right. They
were
were
throwing
talking about the-
shit.
Oh yeah.
And they were the worst pets ever.
They're not
and
clean.
I had one named. I was allowed to name one who was Algernon,
Yeah,
and
I remember
Joe
that.
named the other one,
Yeah,
which
we
was
talked about the
Ratbag.
rats.
No, we only touched on, and I don't remember.
There's nothing else to
why.
talk about. There was
Something
two
about
rats.
that
One
they
name
were-
was freaking
and they threw
Algernon. The other
they
one
threw
Ratbag.
shit at each
and they
other,
threw shit at
and they
each
would
other.
even plaster their little house with the shit. It was just horrible, horrible. The dirtiest things. One punched Cooper in the face. The other one bit the cat. They had these little hands that
How
were
much
just
coffee did you fucking have?
not a lot. I'm feeling very tired.
Really?
Yeah,
I would have
I'm
guessed
really-
that freaking you can't. You're full recovery with a freaking.
I still feel a little raspy. I don't know if I sound
Really?
that
Keep
way.
talking. It'll work out the raspiness, apparently.
But I'm not.
So-
my nose isn't running. as
Yeah,
much.
Kevin. Yeah.
So
Wait
we
for
all-
that break.
Yeah. So we also touched on the fact last weekend our friend Shani got married.
Oh, yeah.
So and then I didn't want to. The question I was going to pose and then I forgot. What is it about a wedding to where every single woman, not even in the wedding party, every woman that attends a wedding, they become a bitch to the nth degree. Like everything pisses the women off.
What do you
Just
mean?
every woman.
Really?
Like even like the Shani with like so we go to the wedding and they booked it in a park. When you book a wedding in a park outdoors, anything that happens that goes wrong, that's your fault
Right.
because you booked it outside.
Like a
It's
public
fucking
park.
Yeah, like a
Well,
yeah.
you get a permit and
Yeah.
you rent
rent the
space.
gazebo.
You
And
rent the
outside.
gazebo
And yeah.
But it's
outside.
public
yeah.
around you.
It's
Yeah, yeah.
outside.
Well,
I think
well-
Kevin's point is it's outside.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So when you rent a gazebo from a city
The county.
or the county, and anything that goes wrong, yeah, it's your fault. That's what you get for being outside. So we get there,
I'm just waiting for you to get to your point.
and so there's a bunch of paintballers there.
No, what happened was the space got
Paintballer.
no.
Oh
Listen,
my
the space got rented out to the wedding party and a birthday party for the same time,
Oh,
same day.
no.
They both had the same permits from the county. They doubled it up. How was that their fault?
So all the women we're gonna call the cops.
I didn't
They
say
didn't get
that.
out of here. So and then like the
Who
guy,
did it?
and then the
Oh,
guy.
you're talking about her mom and stuff?
Well, all the women, and then the guys are like, "Hey, let's just go over there and talk to them. Let's just,
No, the guys didn't talk to them.
No. The guys are like being calm. Why don't we work this out? We sure. And then, but all the girls are like, we're gonna
Kevin is
murder
delusional.
everybody.
Like
Everybody
how old were the
stop.
birthday party people? Was it a kid's
They're
birthday?
kids.
7.
No, they
Seven.
weren't. Kevin
Seven.
does not do well with age
They were
group.
tiny children.
They had to have been like 8 or 9.
Oh yeah, because 7,
that's-
8 so much
because
more.
that's-
Fucking way off.
That's a big
Holy
difference.
shit.
Kevin's just an idiot. They were-
7, Kevin, you fucking moron. You cannot. He's horrible with age. They were 8.
They had
They
to
were
have been,
7
like,
and 3
older than
quarters.
7.
Yeah.
No,
So-
but what happened was
8 is
We-
older than 7.
It is.
I guess they had to talk to the people that were throwing the birthday party
I was
and
like 14 or something, not 8.
listen, whatever. So I guess apparently they came up with an agreement with each other to like let them have 30 minutes for the ceremony. But during the ceremony, they just started singing happy birthday.
Oh yeah.
to
Yeah.
this
Oh my
kid.
God, that's great.
I'm filming this. So they're getting married. You know, beautiful Shani and Mike got it framed all right, and there's a big open field behind them with tents all set up, and then kids running around. You know,
With paintball singing happy birthday.
Yeah.
And oh my God, it was
That's
it was
fun.
like
but women, they were just so
you keep
brutal.
saying women. It was 2 women
It was
that were
all
bitching.
The women. There was like
2.
6 women.
That's a little bit
there.
of a dick move when you actually say, look, we were both double booked. Let's
Yeah.
work something out. Let me go through my ceremony. And then you
Right.
could have it for your birthday. In the middle of ceremony, you start singing happy birthday.
Right.
Yeah, those are some asshole
Right.
people.
That's
They
a
were assholes.
Oh,
about
well,
it.
yeah.
They were absolutely
I wanted to
assholes
go
about
there
it.
and like, there's a bunch of kids just start kicking all their tents down. What are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? You're little. Like, I'm pretty sure I can take all of you.
No,
All-
no,
maybe
no.
Yeah, not-
If
maybe
they
not
were
the
Kevin,
parents.
Maybe not the guys running it. They were two pretty big guys.
I
I
could
was hoping I'd have some backup.
I would bet on you with the 7-year-olds, but if they're 8, I don't know if you'd have a
Yeah,
chance.
So so it was like
That's
so
tough.
it was like
That's
the-
a
the-
whole
the-
different type of level.
it was like the old thing. So how many? Do you think you could beat up? How many 5-year-olds could you beat up if they came in at you in waves of 20, but every third wave there was also like 3 fifth graders, and I forget and I'm like, yeah, I could beat up a lot of 5-year-olds.
No, I don't know about
I bet I
that.
could spend all day.
I don't
They're
know.
tiny. They
Yeah,
bite.
they're fast.
They're fast.
No, you kick one in the face, they start
They're
crying,
wiry.
and
They're
it scares
kids,
a few
though.
more.
That's the thing. Is
They'll
you have
jump
to,
on your legs.
No, but the idea is, I can't believe we're having this conversation. We'll get whatever someone will.
I
But
know it's
but
so disturbing.
if you have a freaking like a group of, and I'm talking like Lord of the Flies, motherfucking kids, right?
Oh,
Coming at you.
I used to live in an apartment complex where I
You-
watched kids waiting for the bus that were like Lord of the
Yeah.
Flies.
You
They could beat
ice-
the shit out of each
You
other.
ice one of them the right way, it sends a message. The other ones will run.
It's like
Oh,
in
yeah.
Elf when they have the snowball fight, and he finally beams the one kid.
We actually had that. I worked in this when I worked at Enterprise Rent-A-Car in Pottsville. We actually worked in our address was like 1 MHP, Sammy's MHP, Sammy's Motorhome Park, and we actually it was a building in front of a motorhome park, so it would snow, and all the kids in the neighborhood, in the trailer neighborhood, would like throw snowballs at me and this guy who worked there when we're trying to freaking work. And the guy who I worked with was a dude who played football at Temple. He's a big dude. And he's just like, watch this. He picked a snowball and just like leveled one of the kids. And all the other ones just freaking ran. It was
Oh
like,
yeah.
Oh yeah.
like they don't want to get hit with a snowball by a guy who's 6'2", 6'3", 300 pounds, not playing games and lobbing them. He's freaking... He dropped that kid.
Yeah,
Wow.
He makes a snow football and then just
Dude.
Yeah.
launches
the
it.
one that you're always supposed to go for is the one that's mouthy, that's getting the other kids to do it, because he's like the ringleader. He never really
Exactly.
gets his hands
the
dirty.
leader.
He's mouthy, and somehow they all listen to him. That's the one you got to take out.
Yeah, that's the one you just punch him in the
Yeah,
face.
that's the one you always
Yeah, you
got
don't
to
even-
take
I
out.
don't
and then they
condone hitting
disperse.
children.
Yeah,
I'm
no,
saying,
not at all.
No.
If in a situation when you're attacked by unruly wild
A
children,
wave of children.
A wave
yeah.
of
Yeah,
children.
is that
Yes.
happening though?
Yeah.
You're
Yeah.
on an island,
never know.
and there's a plane crash.
Lord of the Flies.
right,
I
right.
mean,
And
you got
Lord
like,
of
you
the
have
you gotta-
30
Flies.
kids.
you've got to kick the leader to where his jaw dislocates from his face. That scares
Jesus.
everybody.
That's-
So.
That's just okay.
And I imagine that's pretty easy
Have
to
you-
do. You know,
have you
they're
thought
still
about this a
growing. Their
lot?
bones haven't fused yet, so that's probably pretty easy to do.
We take it to
Wow.
the next level, Kev.
Yeah, Kevin has put a lot of thought into
It's
the attack of
I have
like
conti-
5-year-olds.
I have contingency plans for everything.
So anyway, but the people did all of that, and it was like so rude and obnoxious, and it was like, you know, not that kid could never get his birthday back. I'm just saying this is them having their ceremony for their wedding. They could
Right.
have sang happy birthday after the ceremony
Yeah.
and had the whole place to themselves, shot
Right.
paintballs. No, they had to do that shit during the ceremony.
Well, you
It was
look,
fucked up.
you look at the kid. You look, kid. You're 7.
Yeah.
You're 7, 8, right? Somewhere in that age range,
Maybe 9.
right? Maybe 9. But you know, this is hopefully one time opportunity getting
Right.
married. You're gonna have, like, if you're lucky, unless Kevin wants to dislocate your jaw, you're gonna have probably another 70 of these motherfuckers.
Right.
Stop
Right.
singing for another 20 minutes
Right.
and then freaking go about your day.
Right.
Yeah.
And the sad
Yeah.
part is, it's the parents. It's learned
It was
behavior.
the parents. Oh
from the
yeah.
parents.
Learn-
Oh
It's
yeah. They
always
did not
the
care.
problem.
They did not care.
Yelling at the kids, they don't know any better.
Yeah.
You got some jackass parent who's encouraging them to do
Yeah,
it.
go play, go sing.
Yeah.
It's okay.
Yeah.
As
Well,
they
there's a
completely
problem, no
ignore
talk.
their kids.
Telling you, you just need one person to be like, stop, hit pause on all your recorders. You,
Yeah.
7, 8, 9-year-olds, stop swinging, stop singing. Parents,
Yeah.
you know what? If you don't get them to stop, I'm gonna take a big shit on this gazebo,
Yeah.
and then your kids can play in all the poo.
And then I'm editing the video down, so I finally got the video all edited. What a
It came out
nightmare that was,
beautiful though.
And then I used the song Jessica wanted to use for our wedding video. Apparently,
What?
Well-
What is it?
It's from
Broadleaf
Twilight.
Bullies.
No.
Talking
Yeah.
shit.
It's a song from Twilight, and like I've always loved it. And
Twilight?
It's just really,
I've never seen
Yeah.
any of the
The
movies.
alabaster Vampires.
Yeah,
Yeah.
That was a good movie.
With
It's a great
Robert
book.
It was
Pattinson.
great books.
I've never seen one.
Books are what the movies will ruin it for you.
No, the movies
when-
were good.
the-
The movies were
the-
good,
So
but
going
I
back
read
to
the
the
books.
song, what
The
song
books were
was it?
fantastic.
What the heck's the name of it?
I forget.
We both forget. So it's not that important, I guess.
The world
But-
is a vampire.
I have to Google songs from Twilight. Was it from
So-
the first movie?
It's from the wedding scene. It's
Okay.
like the third. I think it's the third.
When they married a werewolf,
Twilight.
and then they had little.
No,
Were-
she doesn't
were
go with the
vampires?
werewolves or
Oh,
the
spoiler
the wolves.
alert! What if I wanted to go in and watch? Go
Well,
through
you're
a
never.
binge watching?
Clearly, you had enough time to, and you did it.
I just couldn't wrap. I just couldn't get into the whole thing.
Did you watch any of the
Sorry,
Harry
there's an ad.
Potters?
Yeah.
I
You
saw
can get
like
into
the
Harry
first
Potter,
three or
but you
four
couldn't
of
get
them.
into something that was a little bit more adult-like.
Dude, when I see Taylor Lautner and the other guy with the vampire
Yeah,
and
it just
stuff,
looked
that's
dumb.
He's
I
from
couldn't.
Harry Potter.
I'm
James Patterson or whatever his
Yeah,
name is. He was
but-
in Harry
He was in
Potter.
Harry Potter?
Pattinson. He was in Harry Potter.
It's the wedding.
No, I don't
No?
think that was it. It's,
Oh. that's Brian Adams, right? Or that's
Oh,
Robin
that
the
Brothers.
it?
part where she's in the field.
no,
Oh,
hold
Jesus.
on.
Yeah, stop that. Just because you're going to be looking for weddings and fields,
It
and then
says
you're going to.
Twilight Wedding.
Yeah, but she's not. in
No,
the wedding.
no, yeah, it's not the Twilight Wedding. Is it this one?
1,000 Years. Yeah, that's
Yes,
the song. A
yeah.
1,000 Years.
Oh, that's the one.
Okay, that's all I can play, or I'm gonna start crying.
Oh, I've
Yeah.
heard that song before.
It's
Yeah.
an
Who
amazing
sings that?
song.
That's,
Yeah.
I don't know it from
Kevin,
Twilight, but I know
Kevin
that song.
used that song, and as soon as I started watching the video, he sent me a little clip. I was like, I started to get emotional for two things. It was amazing that he did use it for her, but then I was like, you piece of shit. Now we can never use that song.
Oh yeah. Oh no, that's 100 years. Never mind. Wrong song.
Yeah,
A
you got to
1,000
add
years.
another zero to that, Jen.
Well, I was
I thought you were
saying-
talking about this one. This is it here.
Yes.
Yeah, that's the song.
That's Kiss, 100,000 years.
Oh no, I meant the.
I mean, that's still a good
walk.
song.
We will walk 1,000 miles. Isn't that the one that we were supposed to be?
I would
Yeah.
walk 1,000 miles and I'd walk.
And that
500
that song
miles to
became
Graceland?
popular from that,
500 miles,
That
that's what
movie,
it was.
Benny and June.
500 miles to Graceland. That's where we're going.
Yeah. Oh my god.
That song became really
So-
popular when Benny and June, that movie Benny and June
Yeah.
came out. It was
Yeah.
I
such
love
a
that
good movie.
Great
Yeah.
movie.
So it is a good song, and like I said, I went through like 3 or 4
Yeah.
songs through it, and I couldn't find the one, and then I found that one, I put it in there. She's walking across the bridge.
It was beautiful.
I'm editing it. I started crying, and I'm like, oh my god, this is the perfect song. And then she's like, you piece of shit.
Yeah, it's the perfect song. I know. I know.
You
it's
used
the
our
perfect
song,
Yeah.
but we're never
So
getting married.
That's
Yeah,
great.
he's ruined it now for life.
Yeah.
I got
No, but it was nice. It came out really. He did a really good job. It was really pretty.
You know, Kevin, it cracks me up in a good way when you say that, because when you, I don't know if, I know you get it, because what you're saying is when you're editing film and you're putting and it's an emotional film or pictures and clips and music, it is so exhausting emotionally when you're doing it. It really is.
It
Well, and
is
somebody-
because
the
somebody
LOS
else,
ones,
and it's
definitely.
someone else's day.
it's someone else's day, and then you're watching. So I don't know. I had like 15 parts I had to edit together, and I'm watching each part over
Right.
and over and over again, and playing the song, and it's just hitting you every single time. And then on this one, it was a little hard,
Relentless.
yeah, and this one was a little harder because I filmed with the GoPro, which does 4K, but the sound isn't good. So most of all the wedding, there's music playing in the background, people were dancing.
Right, 'cause it was
So
speeded
I had
up.
to go to YouTube, snatch the high definition audio from YouTube,
Got it.
put it in the exact same spot of the
Oof.
of the footage. So when they're doing the YMCA, they're not on a Y when the song's
So like
on.
they came through
Yeah.
their little archway when they were being announced. Here comes Mr. and Mrs. And Footloose was playing, but it was a different Footloose So we had to go find that particular
Now,
song.
was the reception at the park as well?
No, at
No,
their
it was
house.
at their house.
Oh,
Just,
okay.
you know,
Yeah, they redid the we did the whole backyard. Yeah, like the day before, I did all her flowers.
Is this who
I
you made
picked
the
up-
cookies for?
I didn't end up making cookies. There was no time for cookies. I was going to, and then I was like, gotta cut it somewhere because I had to work so much.
She was
No,
a couple
I'm
weeks
saying,
ago. She was making cookies with Wyatt,
Yeah.
and she was like testing them.
Yeah.
For
I was
wedding.
I was
practicing.
actually thinking, I mean, and they just had a ceremony at the gazebo and left. That's even a bigger dick move if they were having a birthday party at the gazebo and having a party there. They just had to wait.
Yeah.
I'm still stuck
Yeah.
on that.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
It was actually very like just disheartening that these people couldn't even just allow them to have that moment. And it would have been 30 minutes. Like it would have been probably no more than 30
People are
minutes.
such jerks now.
It was
You
was
see it day in and day
fucked
out,
up.
over and over and over and over again. So I'm freaking tired of it.
We rented a movie last night through freaking the PlayStation, and the audio wasn't working.
You can hear the
You
music.
could hear the music, but the audio wasn't working.
No audio.
So Jen's like, I can't find out how with customer service. I'm like, so I go, we'll rent the movie through freaking Amazon, and we'll just contact, PlayStation, Sony, just have them, refund or credit or give us, credit on the PlayStation.
Right.
I swear to God, I was so freaking persistent last night. I spent over an hour
It was almost
in this
an hour and 20
in this
minutes.
chat with this fucking moron
for what, a $5 movie?
for $7.41.
Oh.
And I kept saying, look, just refund the money. Credit. I said, you don't even need to refund me the money. Just give me credit on PlayStation so I can buy something else. She's like, the person said, well, it's already been, what'd they say?
Downloaded.
It's already been downloaded and streamed. I go,
It doesn't work.
and I said, well, how else would I know it's not working unless I downloaded and started streaming it? I said, Einstein, take a look at when I rented it and take a look at when I contacted you. It's an hour and 41-minute movie. I contacted you 10 minutes after I started it. I did not watch a 1 hour and 40-minute movie in 10 flipping minutes. And then they had me do all these things. And I'm like,
It was horrible.
it's still not working. It's still not working. And then it's like, I can't refund you. You're gonna have to call help desk on Monday. And I said, ho. I said, then send me this chat. Like, email me this chat. I can't do that either. And I'm like,
Why they record it?
Customer service just
all
sucks
chat.
these
It was all
days.
chat, and I'll chat. I only communicate with Sprint via chat because afterwards you can have the chat, the transcript emailed to you.
Yeah, I just went through something.
So when
like
they
that.
promise you something, it's documented, because I've had one too many people on the phone where they're like, "Oh yeah, we'll give you $50 credit," and I'm like, "I was supposed to get a $50 credit." They're like, "Oh, we don't see it in the notes." I'm like, "Freaking Mary."
Yeah,
or
that's
Scott.
But you say that's the first thing I do, and for two reasons. Whenever I get on a chat or a phone call, if I'm on a chat on my computer, I hit screen record. So I just record everything going on just for that reason. And then first thing I do is I write down their name, and then, any pertinent facts, I'm like, hey, something happens. Hey, Mary, she mentioned she's from Rhode Island. She promised me this, so you have them facts. Plus, it helps me, like I said, when you repeat their name over and over again, it makes them feel more at ease, so they're more likely to give you everything you want.
Because when they jerk.
Yeah, so when they ask you,
Tyler.
because they'll ask you a question, and I'm like, oh, that'll be nice,
Tyler
Mary.
was a
Thank
dick.
you.
Right,
You just,
It's it does. It brings a little bit more comment out, but I was like, man, over an hour for $7 movie.
We could have watched the movie already.
I could have had the movie watched already, and I thought, man, but then I was at that point of no return.
You were.
Where it's like,
You were adamant.
I'm like, son of a bitch.
Yeah, I'm in it. I'm in it now.
They're like, can you check your connection? I said, fucking, I got a connection. How do you think I downloaded it? Did you turn it on and off? I did it on and off. Did you use the safe mode? Did that. Okay. Well, I'm sorry. We tried all that stuff. It's not working. My fingers are crossed. I'm like, eh. It was,
That's
horrible.
ridiculous.
yes.
What movie was it?
It was called Percy versus Goliath. It was with Christopher Walken.
Yeah.
Good
yeah, I
movie.
never saw any.
Yeah.
I never saw any of the Percy. Weren't there three of them or?
No, it's not
Or-
Percy Jackson, the lightning
Oh.
sneaker kid.
They
This
only
is-
made one movie anyway,
Yeah.
but the
Wait.
books were good.
Yeah.
Hello,
Nothing to do with that.
I'm Percy Jackson. I'm gonna throw a lightning bolt at you. Are you riding a dinosaur?
And he's not fighting David and Goliath. This is actually based on a true story of Percy, like Schweizer. I don't remember his last name.
He's a farmer.
Farmer up in Canada, and it goes back in the '90s with the Montesano GMO seeds and Roundup pesticide. It was. I liked it. It was
Basically,
good.
what happened was Montesano came in and said, "You're growing our freaking hybrid on your property," and he said, "I keep seeds every year." That's how I learned. If any seeds of yours are on my property, it's because they blew over from our neighbors,
I remember the lawsuit.
and it went all the way to Supreme Court.
Yeah.
And they
Yeah.
they won it. It was split. They didn't have to pay Montesano's legal bill. They didn't lose the farm, but he had to give them all of his seeds.
Yeah.
And then
Oh, wow.
and everybody was really kind of on the edge of their seat because the this environmental protection group was supporting him. But if he would have lost the lawsuit, that would have been set as precedents where no farmers, nobody could sue these big companies, and these big companies could bring in GMO wheat and everything. And it was and Christopher Walken. I love him. I'll watch him. in
Yeah.
anything.
Christina
I did,
Ricci
yeah.
was in it. She looked
Yeah.
old.
Yeah. I'm waiting for the I think that's still under the lawsuit. I'll have to check. It's been a few months, but and there's one farmer. So when you grow the Monsanto corn, wheat, whatever, you can't harvest the seeds from the plants you grow and replant those seeds the next year. You have to buy.
You have to keep buying.
Yeah.
You have to keep buying. And then he was collecting, and he's like, no, I purchased this just like I purchased a car, a cell phone, everything else. These are mine. That's going through court now to see, whether he's going to win or not. Because if he wins,
It's another one. Yeah, it was really interesting.
You gotta love Christopher Walken.
We watched a movie with Mark Ruffalo a while back on it was based on a true story of a lawsuit with the contamination from factories in this community, and it had to do with them dumping in like the chemicals that they use for Teflon for frying pans.
Yeah, the PTFE
And at the end, it literally I think they said almost every person has that freaking molecule in their system, just based off of just how much contamination there
Man.
was.
Yeah.
Yeah. We had a big place in Sarasota, and it was a like U.S. beryllium plant that closed down, and the land is still contaminated. Now they're fighting because Lockheed Martin bought it, and then did some secret stuff up there, so the ground is contaminated. Who's going to pay for it? Lockheed Martin, U.S. beryllium, and it's just, you're talking about a chunk of land across from the airport that's probably worth $100 million
It cannot be used.
that nobody can use.
Ridiculous.
Just ridiculous. And
Well, the
Yeah.
environmentalists and stuff will fight anybody from ever digging.
well, yeah, you can't because
Yeah.
it's so contaminated. But yeah, my
Wow.
buddy Brian had some friends that worked there, and beryllium. It's not like they working with metal all day long, but it's really expensive.
Mm-hmm.
And you actually went through metal detectors every day on your way out of the plant because people would actually take slivers of it and try to hide it under their fingernails.
Really?
Because if you took just a sliver of beryllium home every day, and then even if you have a thimble full, it's worth a ton of
Wow.
money. And,
Really?
yeah, it's just crazy.
Is that what they put in Wolverine?
Yep.
No, that's
Yep, beryllium.
Or is that Black Panther?
Yep.
Comes
that
from
too. Yeah, and
Wakanda?
and Captain America's shield.
Yeah, no. What was the Wolverine?
Adamantium.
No,
Adamantium.
yeah, adamantium or unobtainium?
No. It's,
Adamantium.
Adamantium.
Yeah.
Unobtainium sounds like a little bit made up there, Kev.
No. I think unobtainium. What is?
But then
unobtainium?
vibranium is what they made the shield out of.
No offense, though. Everything you guys are just saying all sounds like made up words. None of that sounds real.
It's I think it was fuckbranium.
Did you look it up?
Okay, unobtainium is a hypothetical, fictional, or impossible material, but
Never heard of
it
that
can
one.
also mean tangible, but extremely rare, costly, or reasonably unobtainable material.
Okay, so you're kind of right. Right church, wrong pew.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. So it's any material that you can think of, and then I guess once it becomes a real material, then they give it a real name.
Oh, okay.
Gotcha. Yes.
Yeah.
So I did bring up church. I took Joe and I went to church today.
Did you?
Praise Jesus.
Yeah. Praise Jeebus.
Joe wanted to go.
Over.
Yeah.
What church? What?
It was.
Church.
I asked Joe. I said, "Well, you pick out the church, and I'll go with you." And he said he wanted to go to this First Baptist Church. I mean, you're in the South,
Okay.
right? Yeah.
Yep.
And, I mean, it's like every freaking corner is a Baptist church.
Yes,
right?
of course.
And we went. It was like 4 minutes from our house, and there's a church next to it. So there's a church next to a church,
Yeah.
Mhm.
and
It's the Starbucks methodology
it is.
of bringing in the people.
It's when I would travel down to Augusta, I would take this road, and it was just like it reminded me of Chris Rock when he said he's in the hood. It was just like trailer, church, liquor store, gun shop, trailer, church.
Yeah.
But it was everything that I thought it would be. Everybody was very super nice,
Of course.
very friendly.
Joe loved it.
Joe loved it; he enjoyed it. And
Did they sing old hymns or like new aged hymns?
older ones, but I mean it's very conservative, very patriotic. We started off with America the Beautiful as one of the hymns. So and the pastor came up and he said, this is Memorial Day weekend. Not like Kamala Harris saying it's an extended weekend. And I was like, okay.
Ooh,
Right.
yeah.
I mean,
I can't believe she said that.
out of the
Yeah.
gates.
Yeah.
Out of the gates.
Yep, the pastor just
Out of the gates.
put it right
Pastor
out
just
there.
was like, okay, here's where we stand. And he said, is anybody out there, in the congregation have a family member that died during the war that they want to remember? And the lady up front said, my daddy's uncle died on Omaha Beach. Guy in front of us is like, yeah, my cousin died in Vietnam. And then we had another friend who died a year after coming back from Vietnam. It was the Agent Orange, but he still died because of it. And then some old guy stood up on the right-hand side and was like, my great-granddaddy died in the Civil War in Gettysburg.
Pin drop.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Beat that.
And
Yeah.
That's
That's like the
awesome.
ultimate flex. That old man's waiting, and he's just like,
it was
all right
the
now.
ultimate mic drop. I mean, everybody's World War II. There
Yeah.
was freaking Vietnam War, and he
of
just
course.
bust out Civil War. And it wasn't my great-great-grandfather. It wasn't my great-great-great. It was my great-grandfather, which means he probably met him, or at least had, when he said that, I looked at Joe, and Joe looked at me, and I'm like, dude, you're home. Like when a guy, and then he said in Gettysburg, and how I was going to be like, yeah, that's right where I'm from. Then I probably would have never heard from me ever again. But they went through. It was an hour and a half long. I was not expecting how long. The length of it. It was very lively. The pastor. So there was no way of nodding off or falling asleep. It was as it built up, a lot of, praise Jesus. And Joe's like, why were they raising their hands? And I'm like, well,
Giving it up to God.
I said, Joe, when you're moved by the Holy Spirit, people raise their hands and they'll shout out how they feel because they're moved by the Holy Spirit and they thank God in different ways. And he goes, yeah, I felt something, but I didn't know I was supposed to raise my hands.
Yeah.
I was like, well, there's next week, Joe.
Yeah,
There's always time.
There's always time. You're talking about like the Civil War, and I know we were just talking. I don't know if we've talked about it, but we were just talking. I read you that article, and it was about a month or two ago. So, do you know, one of the founding fathers, someone that signed the Declaration of Independence, his grandson is alive today. Not great, his grandson.
What?
How was that?
Yeah,
So,
that's
so,
what we-
so it was like Zachary Taylor Thomas, I think,
Yeah.
was like 80 when he had his first kid. His kid didn't have his first kid until he was like
60.
80.
Oh, I thought he was like
and,
60.
and or whatever, and then that kid is alive today and is like 90. So like someone that signed.
Did you get ready to start a
Declaration-
family?
Yeah,
they started their families late.
So someone that signed the
That's
Declaration
an
of Independence has
Yeah.
a grandson that's alive today.
I mean,
Yeah.
the fact that that's even
My grandpa, he worked on the Manhattan Project. Oh, really? My grandpa signed the Declaration of Independence.
That
Oh,
is a flex move right there.
President John Tyler, born in 1790, still has 2 living grandsons.
Yeah.
did he sign the Declaration of Independence? Wow, that's got to be like. I remember my granddaddy telling me about the time he signed the Declaration of Independence. But I mean,
But yeah,
they must
like
have been
that-
dead. I mean,
Like that is also like when you go into like the American Legion or those like that's the flex right there.
Yeah.
Like nobody's got you.
I mean,
That's
but most of these
crazy.
people can say all that, but they probably didn't even know.
no, they didn't know
There's
him.
no
but
way they didn't
still.
know them.
Well,
they
they-
didn't know
well,
them. They
yeah,
don't
no.
remember them. You
Yeah.
know, so
No, God, no. I mean, they would have been
could be
freaking
like-
180 by the time they were born or whatever. But still.
right, like it's
That's-
crazy.
Because nowadays, like I actually have a friend that I think they had their first kid early on, and then their kid had their first kid early on, and their kid, like, she could conceivably see her great grandchildren.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, yeah,
Oh, yeah.
Just based off of the timing of having children
Yeah.
early, and this dude's popping kids out at 80.
That's a seed right there. That's a strong seed.
That's crazy.
It is.
But yeah, it was great when the guy said that today, and I was like, wow, that's just like
Yeah.
No, that is
That's
definitely
crazy.
what
So-
a cool. Like,
So what
cool thing,
is
though.
what is Joe's history of the? I mean, have you guys taken him to church before? Is it something like
Well,
like
he
what
was-
popped up out of the blue or?
He's always been very religious, but he was like, I was raised Lutheran, so we would go back in New Jersey. We'd go to church with my mom and my brother, but I don't think there's any strong memories. I think he
depends on you talk to Joe. Joe remembers when he was in the
Yeah,
womb.
True.
Yeah.
Remember that time you ate hot peppers, Mom, when you were like 4 months pregnant, and then I had like
Yeah.
acid reflux in the belly?
Yeah, I don't know if it's
Yeah.
from. He's always been.
I think his faith is strong. It's all. And
Yeah.
I think even going through leukemia treatment probably strengthened that. But we go to church from time
Yeah.
to time, and then we used to go to a non-denominational church, and we just have our family. We're not like a regular church-going family, but we are. Especially with Joseph too, is very communicative and talk about faith and religion and spirituality, because I grew up Catholic my whole life. We were varsity Catholic, right? What everything was, whatever the holiday was or whatever the holiday was, we were in church, and I went to school, Catholic school. So when I came down here, I started doing a little bit more research, and I was like, you know what, religion itself is, you're following man-made rules in religion, and you actually start focusing more on the rules that they tell you need to follow, or you're going to go to hell. And they focus less on the relationship that you're supposed to have with Jesus Christ as a Christian. And that's why a lot of non-denominational churches really do focus more on that, connection of your relationship with Jesus. So Joseph reads the Bible. He's very studious, and he wanted to go to a church and not a mega church, they call them down here, or
Right.
non-denominational
And-
church. He wanted to go to a traditional
or an
church.
evangelistic.
Well, he wanted to go to a Christian-based church, but like when we talk about Catholicism, he didn't like the fact that Catholics, have statues and pray to saints, and that's
they couldn't answer that question for me. Ooh.
and you and Lutherans and everybody's just like, you Catholics, you guys violate the very first commandment, thou shalt not have strange gods before me. And then the Catholics are like, I don't really pray to him, I'm just asking for some intervention. Or the same thing as praying, and you get in this big pissing match over praying intervention and blah 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 blah. And I think Joe has some friends who go to Baptist, churches, and
He's very conservative.
and very
thinking as
conservative
well.
thinking. So he wants to find a church that kind of goes in line with that. So we told him, do some research, and we'll support you. What you want to do?
Nice.
Yeah, because the Catholic they don't have that. That's not their wording in their they have different 10 commandments.
No, they don't.
The Catholics don't.
No, they do.
Or is it not
No.
Catholic? So then it's either Lutheran
No.
or Methodist.
No.
And it
No,
was
Methodists
no
do
different.
not.
Like thou shalt not worship false idols in the heavens above, the earth below, the waters beneath. It's just different.
It's different wording, but the
I mean, there's
the
different
gist is
wording
still the
in
same.
every.
Yeah.
Right. It's
It's
still.
thou
pretty
shalt
much
not
the same.
kill. It's not like saying mine's different. It says thou shalt not murder someone with a knife or
Yeah.
with a gun or with a
Yeah,
rock.
I was at my buddy Tom. I was his best man at his wedding. They got married in a Catholic church, and so we show up there for the rehearsal, and Tom's like, "Hey, you're not gonna start any shit, are you?" And because he knows I'm smart, and I'm like, "No, I'm good. I just need you to answer me one question about that Virgin Mary right there." Just he goes, "Shut up," and I go, "No, man, I just need to know." What that's all about, So I told him, I said, "I'll let it go, man. I'll let it go."
Yeah, well, listen. The way I look at things like that is I have my beliefs, but if I walk into someone else's house, I'm not going to be
Yeah.
disrespectful, right?
Yeah, no.
And even
people
I listen. I've been in synagogues before. I've been to Jewish weddings, and I've gone and and I'm sitting there next to my buddy and his uncles, who are like your typical Italian Catholics. Are like, I didn't get a fucking beanie. Did you get a fucking beanie? And I'm like,
Yeah.
I'm
No,
like-
you don't get one.
no, they actually gave out
Oh, do
yarmulkes
they?
to everybody to
They
celebrate.
do
And
give
I'm like,
yums.
I didn't know.
I didn't
everybody-
know that.
and I'm
all,
sitting-
all the men get them.
yeah, we get them, and it had their wedding date and everything stitched in there. And I'm
okay.
like, listen, I'm not Jewish, but I'm celebrating. It's their
yeah.
it's their ceremony.
I was just watching this documentary on like Jewish weddings and stuff, and like how the women they shave their heads, they wear wigs, like Hasidic Jews and stuff.
Yeah, you're getting
I-
into the.
No, I know,
The
but I just thought it was
varsity
really
Jews.
just, but it was just really interesting,
Yeah.
like some of the cultural like practices that they do and stuff. I was like, holy cow!
At work every now and then, the boss Luke, who like you, Jersey,
Yeah.
New York, and he'll be telling the story, and he's like, "Goddamn Hasids," and I'm like, I don't know what you're talking about, and-
Well, I was in training up in Jersey. Where was that? Was it Northern Jersey when I was in training at the time?
Oh, at the hotel?
At
Yeah,
the-
it was like Paramus.
Yeah, it was up in Jersey. And
Oh, Paramus.
this is the hotel and training when I walked into the hotel and they had the Little People convention.
Uh,
Did I ever tell you that?
Okay.
no,
I never
No.
told you that?
no.
Oh my God. I literally, we were in training at the pharmaceutical company and we would literally get in there at like 7 in the morning and we'd stay there till 7 at night. It was just long freaking days. And we'd walk out and we'd walk from the facility to our hotel because it was just about 100 yards. And we walk in and there was like the second day, and there's people in the vestibule and they move aside and the hallway is just packed with little people.
I get a phone call.
And I with
quickly hop on
this guy
Google.
John is look and I'm like, I won't look at him directly because he and I have been, and we're walking down and the bar is filled with little people. They're all over the place, and I'm just like, I'm looking and I'm just like, okay, this is strange. And we go in the elevator, and we go upstairs, and we're in the elevator. As soon as the doors close, John he goes, dude, what the fuck was that? Is this like a show? Like, is this a joke? And I'm like, I don't know, John. I said, I was just like, it was very surprising. So they were actually having a convention there, an educational convention for several days for little people.
For like different dwarfism.
Well, it was all education stuff.
It was
so
like a national East Coast meeting.
yeah, it was like
huge.
a big night. It was huge. So we go down at the bar and we're like, and I say this in full sincerity without being smart ass. Like, I literally had to watch where I was walking because everybody's like running around, and I felt like I was gonna freaking trip on or step on someone. And we get to the bar, and we're hanging out at the bar, and all of a sudden, it's like this. It fucking started because this girl had to get a running start and like crawl up the bar stool to get a drink. And I'm like, it scared the shit out of me. And they're sitting there getting loaded. They're getting fucked up. And they're just going back and forth. And then my buddy John's like, man, I got to go upstairs, bro. This is just, I got to go upstairs. I'm like, it's not that bad, but it just was very, it's not plugged in. It was just very startling when you walk into a hotel.
You're just not around a ton of little people.
No,
you know
no,
what I
too
mean?
much, too much, Jen, too much. Turn it off. Yeah. No, you're not. I mean,
you're good, right? You're good right there.
Yeah, I've known little people. There's a guy at a bar that we used to go to down in Harrisburg, and he played the band. But so then the little people convention leave. Next night after they leave, next day we come walking in, and they're having a big Hasidic Jewish East. I mean, we walk in, it's all the hats.
Yeah,
all over, and they have these big freaking suitcases that they carry their hats in, and it was just like, again,
was there any like little people left over? Because that's the start of a great joke. So a little person and a Hasidic Jew walk into a bar.
No, but it was like I walk in, I'm just like,
terrible, Kevin.
And my buddy John looks at me, he goes, dude, what? Seriously, what the hell? And I'm like, I don't know. So it's a convention, right? And then we went up to our room and came down, and they're like, they closed the bar. I'm like, why? Well, because of their religion.
Yep.
They actually closed the bar, and you can't get food here. We had to go out to another building to eat breakfast in the morning, and not eat breakfast downstairs where we normally do. And then for the next 2 days, every morning I'd get a freaking newspaper delivered on my doorstep in freaking in Hebrew.
Wow. Yeah, my buddy Anthony was a little, and he passed away a couple years ago. But yeah, he was a little person. Him and his mom. His dad was of
average size.
Yeah, average size. Met his mom in Germany. His mom was Helga, and when he was in the army, and then so his dad was 6 foot tall. His mom was 3 foot and some change, and then
what kind of dwarfism did
he had? Achondroplasia, dwarfism, and then his mom had a different, like his mom was almost like a true midget, because her proportions were a little bit more,
Yeah, I didn't realize there's actually like multiple different categories.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
That little people can be put in. Like when Wyatt was about 2 years old, they did a bunch of testing because they thought he had a form of dwarfism. I mean, Wyatt was not growing. He was just tiny, like, and he still is. He's not even 5 foot yet. He's just like a very compact person.
Right.
And they thought he had like a form of dwarfism, but they've did all the tests and they've all come back. But they say sometimes it takes a while to find the connection of what dwarfism it possibly could be, or there could still be a link to it. It's just not like full blown, but it does some stunting in the growth. But I just didn't realize how much was out there of different types of dwarfism.
Yeah, and I didn't know until I learned from Anthony that two little people can have an average.
Yeah, they can have an average sized person. Like there was a show.
Yeah, this was all before the show came out. Before we learned. Yeah, before we learned about it. What was that?
What was it? Little People, Big World, or something like that.
There was a
couple. Oregon.
Yeah,
there was a couple of them. But remember that convention? I don't know if we were in. I think it may have been when we were in Atlanta, but I want to say it was in Jersey.
With you.
No, say about the guys that were protesting that had the blood on their pants.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, because it was I can't remember, but
I think it was Atlanta.
I think it was Atlanta, and then they were picketing. And they had the signs up, and then everybody was wearing white, all the guys,
because of the circumcision,
and they had blood all over their crotch, and it was like we didn't have a right to.
We didn't have a say. We
didn't consent.
We didn't consent
to and it was stop circumcising your kids, and people are like these guys, and I've seen them on TV. Like I'm scarred from this procedure that I didn't give consent to.
That you will never remember when you have it done, when you're that young.
Yeah, I guess you want a freaking tube snake. But that was there's a really good movie with Matthew McConaughey and Gary Oldman. And Gary Oldman plays actually one of his typical freaking roles. He plays so many different crazy roles. He plays a role of a little person, and Matthew McConaughey is his brother, and his parents are little people, and Matthew McConaughey is the only person in their family who's
He's tall.
who's normal size,
Right.
and how he struggles.
Average. They don't like that word normal.
How average?
Average.
Thanks. You use midget, so
Because that's a term. Midget's
It's not. It's like they don't use it anymore.
No, it's not a derogatory. It's actually a medical term. Is midget? Yes.
I'm pretty sure the little people of the world don't like that term.
They don't like being lumped into.
Okay.
They don't like being called midgets. And normal is basically the opposite of being afflicted with something. So, the average normal. But
well, I mean, they say average developing.
Right.
I mean, that it's not like I know with Wyatt, like when we talk about developmental and stuff, like his average developing peers. I don't find it rude when they use that term because Wyatt has.
Or if they say,
delays.
Well, if they're developing something, they say, well, this is normal. This is what's normal. This is what's normal. And if it's something that is not what they normally would expect during a developmental area, they would say, this is not normal. This is abnormal. Or this is where we found in an area. But nonetheless, as we digress between normal and midget.
Apparently.
Gary Oldman, who can play any character in the world, sometimes I watch a movie and I don't find out till the end. I'm like, that was Gary Oldman? Get the fuck out of here!
Dude, he played the scarred up guy in Hannibal movie with Hannibal Lecter.
Oh, really?
In the wheelchair.
Oh,
I didn't know that.
I didn't know that.
You remember that movie? That the guy who Hannibal Lecter actually carved up his face and he was in a wheelchair and they threw him in the pig pit. That was Gary Oldman.
Oh,
there you go. Once again.
But he plays in this movie, and the movie is very emotional, but it's such a fantastic movie. And it's another one of those Matthew McConaughey movies that people don't know about. I don't know. You'd have to look. I can't remember anymore.
I'll find it. Just looking up Matthew McConaughey movies.
That Matthew McConaughey was in a movie called Frailty, which is one of my all-time favorite movies.
I don't remember that one. Yeah,
I don't know.
It was Bill Paxton's directorial debut, and Bill Paxton's in it. Matthew McConaughey, Powers Booth. One of the most mind-blowing, awesome movies you want to watch.
I love Matthew McConaughey.
Tiptoes, yeah.
2003.
2003, Gary Oldman, Matthew McConaughey, and I can't remember who the girl is who plays Matthew McConaughey's wife in it, but it's a great movie. And Gary.
Kate Beckinsale.
Kate Beckinsale. That's it.
Yeah.
Oh, Peter Dinklage is in it.
Well, yeah,
too.
it's a little people movie. He's got to be in it.
Patricia Arquette.
Yeah.
David Allen Greer. Wow, what a great
Yeah,
movie.
it was a great movie, but the way they do the makeup and the way they do the camera angles with Gary Oldman, he looks like a little person in a wheelchair. And it's a heart-wrenching movie, but very educational too. So it was fantastic.
Did you hear Matthew McConaughey's probably going to be running for governor of Texas?
Really?
Yeah. Yeah, really kind of dipping his toes into it. That's like
that's interesting.
That's like but that's Matthew McConaughey running for governor that's a no-brainer. That's like Jesus running for the president or for the popehood, whatever. It's just he's going to get it.
I don't know.
I don't know. That was a bad analogy.
That was weird. I don't even know where that came from.
Yeah, that was my dad. My dad always said like Woody Hayes in college football back in the the 60s, and my dad always said Woody Hayes could run for governor against Jesus and win.
Right. Yeah. Well, you know what though, with Matthew McConaughey, this is a sign that Matthew McConaughey's got fuck you money. Yeah. Whenever someone does something like this, it means I don't care that I have to work again. If I run for the governor of Texas as a conservative, because he will.
Oh yeah.
He'll never work in Hollywood ever again.
What's that other guy? What's his name?
Arnold Day to come back afterwards.
Jesse.
Ventura. He was crazy.
Well, he was a conspiracy theorist.
Yeah, but he ran as an independent.
Yeah, independent. That's what it was.
But
I couldn't
Arnold
remember.
Schwarzenegger ran, but if you recall, Arnold Schwarzenegger did a lot of direct-to-video movies and just smaller movies for a while, and then he was folded in, with Sylvester Stallone with all the whatever movies the
Expendables.
But
they looked awful.
And then he
They
did
looked
his.
awful. In
Oh,
that
those
movie.
are great movies. Those are awesome.
But they looked awful.
Come on.
Ugh.
You gotta love it.
There's so much plastic surgery.
Well, yeah.
It's too much.
But you know what though? I mean,
and the steroids.
human
yeah.
growth hormones. If you look at Sylvester Stallone,
Ugh,
who's 70
God.
and like has a body like that, but
I know. But
he did a lot of really low budget, very small, not very good movies. And the only thing I think I've seen him in was the Expendables, and then he went back and did the Terminator stuff.
I didn't watch that one.
Him and James Cameron are friends, so and James Cameron got back involved with it, and he owns pretty much part of that whole franchise. So if he wants to do Terminator, he can do Terminator. But he did a movie about his daughter turning into a zombie. He did a movie about being a cop on like the Mexican border, and they were all like direct-to-videos.
Oh yeah, kind of like Steven Seagal in his last half dozen movies.
Dope though.
Yeah.
But I'm saying like it could being a conservative, like Jim Caviezel was an up and coming actor and was in a lot of great movies. And after he played Jesus in the Passion of the Christ, you don't see him in anything anymore. It's all direct to video.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, he did. He was Superman too. He did Superman after that.
That's Jimmy Cavill.
Yeah, different person.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
That wasn't Jim. That wasn't Caviezel.
No.
Different
Oh,
guy.
okay.
No, and
Okay.
he was a great actor. He
Yeah.
was in that movie with the radio when they travel back in time. Remember that when he was talking to Dennis Quaid?
Oh, I wanted to see that. It looked good.
Fucking awesome
Yeah.
movie, man.
But
Awesome
I
movie.
remember watching a Passion of the Christ. We went me and Mary. We saw
Did
that.
you? I did watch
We
it.
saw it in the theaters, and it was funny. We were coming out of the theaters, and everybody was talking about it. Oh my God, like this and that. And Mary goes, "So what'd you think?" I go, "Nah, I liked the book better." And she's just like, "Oh my God!" And I kid you not, we because it was in the mall, Port Charlotte Mall. We come out, we go to get in the car. I had a flat tire, and Mary just looks at it and she goes, "Hmm." She just didn't say a word, pointing, and she just got in the passenger seat, and I had to change the tire. But and she's like, there you go. But
That's
I'm like,
it, man.
But I go,
Immediate.
it was worth it. It was a good joke. So I'm gonna. It hit. I'm telling you.
It's a good book. I like the book better.
Yeah, I like the book better.
But
You
Mel
know,
Gibson warned him when he said he wanted to do the role. He said, if you do this role, you won't work in Hollywood again. They just won't do it. And he did it, and he's did a lot of direct to straight to video movies. And so Matthew McConaughey, if he's going to run for governor,
Guess he's tired of those car commercials.
No, a Buick. He'll be like, I got
Lincoln,
Buick music.
Lincoln.
Lincoln. I got Lincoln money all day long, baby. It's okay.
Yeah. He just those are so. Makes you. He's good. He's good. He makes me want to buy a Lincoln. I'm not going to tell you those commercials work.
It is because he's so smooth.
But you're never going to be Matthew McConaughey.
No,
you're never
no.
going to have.
It doesn't
his,
matter.
like,
He could be wearing a
style.
suit.
What are you talking about? Like thanks, Jess. I didn't already know that. Like I knew I'm never gonna be. But Jess is like, you're never gonna be Matthew McConaughey, right? And I'm like,
Well, the way they
all
made.
right, thanks for that boost.
Kevin, you too can be like me if you want to. You gotta shave off that beard first.
I know. But
Get
that's
that
what-
hair slicked back.
They really sell him. It's really him. Like
He's a
it's-
professor at one of the universities in Texas. He
Is he?
teaches some sort of a friend. Actually, the pastor of my church's daughter lives in California, and her daughter had him as a professor. I don't know if it's University of Texas or which one it is, but he teaches a course, some sort of media. Course.
Everybody get out their notebooks.
But
Everybody
it's
got
like-
their
it's a
notebooks.
lot of work to get
I just
into
need you to
that.
write down 3 words.
I have a
Just
question.
3 words.
All right.
What did he do?
Class
before-
over.
What did he do before he was an actor?
I don't know, but that's on his final test. It's like answer this question. You just got fill in the blank. All right, blank.
Blake.
Please
He's
tell me you've seen the movie Dazed and Confused.
A billion
Okay.
times.
Oh my
Yeah.
God. Oh,
For
Yeah.
somebody who's never done
Yeah.
anything in like that, it's funny that you like that.
Yeah, that was
movie.
actually his first movie, and then he actually wasn't. He was supposed to be in that
University
movie.
of
He was.
Texas in
He
I
was.
thought we
Austin.
determined
That's where
that
he
was
teaches
not
at.
his first movie. I thought Jen
No,
looked that up.
we were looking at Morgan Freeman.
Oh,
And,
Communication.
but no, he was
Morgan
actually in a bar. He was actually just drinking while they actually filming that movie. He met somebody, either the casting director or somebody. He was just drinking at a bar, and they're like, "Hey, we're filming a movie in town. You want to
That'd
be?"
be real cool.
Yeah.
That'd be cool.
So he's actually
Yeah,
part of their
yeah.
faculty now, full
Really?
time.
Yeah.
So University of
Does
Texas
he have
in
a degree?
I don't
What does he
know,
have a
but
degree in?
he is on
cool.
the faculty
Yeah.
to teach communications.
Give me a break. He's got. Your
Tell
mouth.
me, give him
Tell
a
me how
break.
many
What's his
people-
degree in?
Could you
Who cares?
I got a degree in being cool.
could you
Okay.
imagine? It
I
must be
fully
a lottery to get
understand
into that
communication.
class.
I was at a bar and they came into me. They said, "Would you like to be in a movie?" I said, "I sure would." It'd be a lot cooler if you got a joint, man. It'd be a lot cooler if you did.
It'd be
Yeah, you're
a lot
filming a
cooler.
movie.
actually
Am I in it? No,
he
no,
actually
no,
has
you're
a
not in.
degree
No, you're not
in
in it. It'd be a lot
communications.
cooler if I
Okay,
was.
too many people thought
He,
that.
ha-
I
he,
couldn't
has
hear
a
a word
deg-
he said.
he has a degree in communications from the college that he's teaching at now.
he's
That's
a
his alma mater.
So I got a degree in political science. I can't teach poli-sci,
Yeah.
but I'm not Matthew
Okay.
McConaughey either. Freaking
Interesting.
Yeah.
hey, some of these guys,
Yeah, I don't
eliminate-
care.
But yeah, I mean, it is pretty interesting. But he's cool as shit, and like Kevin said, when you're watching him either in a suit or if he's freaking in the back of a freaking Lincoln fishing, no matter what, he just looks cool. I'm like,
Yeah.
yeah, I think I'd like to do that. I don't know.
Just driving down through the desert.
Driving
in
through the
your
desert,
Lincoln.
stop, I see a bull.
It's his voice
Yeah.
that gets you.
So, Kerr, what are you smoking? We never did.
Never did talk about this. I'm actually smoking a sample right now.
Oh,
I'm smoking a sample. It is a barber pole, and it is a barber coat pole with Connecticut and Ariparaca. Really tasty. Really tasty.
right on.
So trying a couple new
we just
specials.
finished the Conqueror from Aventera. We both had one.
Yeah,
How's
because we got Henderson Ventura on the show tomorrow night, and then I just lit up a Alec Bradley.
Good thing I buy all his cigars
Alec
for
Bradley
you.
Project 40 Maduro.
How is he?
It's
Is
nice of
he a
me.
long distance relationship of Jesse the Body Ventura?
Yeah, and then plus I don't know Ventura Cigars. Like I said, they haven't, but he's not part of that, so I'm just wondering where that name came from.
Jesse
I'm not-
smokes. Jesse smokes cigars.
I don't know. This is Adventura.
Jesse Ventura? I
Yeah.
don't know.
No, he does.
Does he?
Yeah,
Yeah, we've
I've
seen
seen
pictures
I've
of
seen
him.
interviews of him, and he's in pictures.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I like
Maybe
a good
there's really-
cigar.
There's a good question.
Yeah.
What are you smoking now?
The Alec Bradley Project 40 Maduro.
How do you like that?
It's light.
It's light, but it's a good inexpensive. I think they're only like $5.
I was disappointed in it because I thought it was too light. When
I thought it
smoked
was too light as well.
It's probably I don't know I can't say it's the lightest Maduro on the market, but it's got to be one of the
but
lightest.
I've actually
Maduros.
enjoyed it in the morning with my coffee.
Really?
Yeah, like I'll have a really strong type of espresso coffee, and it kind of
Yeah.
balances it out. It's got a nice creamy smoke to it. It's just so light.
I've got 2 boxes of cigars coming for you and I, and it's been a long time since I smoked them, but it's probably the best morning cigar, and I think you're gonna find that it's gonna be the best morning coffee cigar.
Okay.
And it's the Hoya Cabineta.
Oh, I haven't had one.
It's been a long time since I had one, but it's got it's like Connecticut on the bottom, but then it's Maduro on
Oh.
top.
Interesting.
Unbelievable. It's like the most creamiest cigar that I've ever smoked.
I don't mind a cigar being on the lighter side as long as
Right.
it definitely has some of that texture that I like. But that one, it's just too light for me.
Yeah.
It doesn't do it for me. It's not a bad cigar. It's just not a cigar that I get anything from.
I think if I would have been forewarned that it was a lighter cigar, my expectations would not have been. It would have been different, right?
Yeah,
Yes.
I agree.
Because that happens a lot. Like you see a cigar, like when we talk about Candelas, Kevin, I was told that LFD makes the best Candela, the Claro. I was told, hands
Okay.
down, the best freaking Candela cigar. And I smoked it, and I was let down because I was told it was this great, awesome cigar, and I thought it was decent, but it was not the best.
For me, it was that way with Illusione, with their Candela for years, and I had a couple of them that for years, the best Candela, and it was good, but I think I was a little let down because everybody knows I'm Candela. Have you tried the Illusione? Have you tried the Illusione?
Yeah,
Have you tried the Illusione? And then I finally tried it, and I'm like, yeah, it's good. It's a smooth cigar, a really good. But is it a good smooth Candela? Which there aren't very many people in the world except you that will know that it's a good cigar, but it's a good Candela. Some people will be like, well, what's the difference? You don't know Candelas then.
Yeah.
I have a question for Jen. What did you drink tonight, Jen?
Just Propel
Just water.
Yeah, just I'm still kind of getting back into my coffee fix from having an illness a couple weeks ago. So with my allergies, I just haven't had the taste as much of coffee. So just try and drink like Gatorade and water. Nothing exciting.
Yeah.
Kerr made a great latte yesterday with our new espresso machine. It was the first time I had a latte from
I got to
it.
work on my foam art, according to Kevin.
I know. I saw
Kevin
Kevin's
critiqued the foam art, which is in the eye of the beholder.
I'm like, it's like
Can't rush
I look
art.
at foam art as
Well, it was very abstract. Whatever.
it's
it
like
is.
it's like a
certainly
cloud,
was.
right? If you look at a cloud,
Yeah.
you may see Bugs Bunny. Someone
He
may
said it
see
looked like ET.
the Roadrunner. I'm like, here, it's ET. And I was like,
So,
no, that's...
It was delicious, though. It really,
That's
our
good.
new coffee grinder, super quiet.
I do Jackson Pollock type foam art.
Yeah.
That's what I
Oh God, Jackson Pollock, he's a
oh.
psycho.
That's what I do. I just freaking throw it in
my
there.
God.
The espresso machine, really great.
Talk about
pull of
one of
coffee.
the things that I think that I remember the most from when I took art appreciation in college was his art and like his story about
Yeah.
him. Oh my God, he's like a psycho.
He's crazy.
Ed Harris played him in a movie. It was great.
Oh, there's a movie.
Yeah, it's called
Oh,
Pollock.
I have to see this now.
And Ed Harris plays him. And Ed Harris is a brilliant
I think I
actor.
remember now that somebody was telling me about it, but
Yeah.
I never did go and watch it. I really need to. But I just remember like that kind of being like a turning point for me about like abstract art and stuff, because I kind of always like leaned towards abstract art when I was going through like trying to decide what kind of art major I wanted to be. And he scared me away from abstract art.
Yeah,
Not Bird.
I was like, I
interesting.
can't go there. But he's hardcore, and people, somebody bought his studio, I think, and turned it into an apartment and left like all like the paint splatters and
Yeah.
stuff like on the floor and just some cool stuff. I mean, it's just, an interesting character, very eclectic person, but there's some deep demon shit going on in that man's head.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, most definitely.
Yeah.
So Kerr, with the upcoming release, are you guys getting nervous?
No.
No.
Doing some great
No, are you guys
merchandise
excited?
and promo stuff. So we've
Yeah,
been having
excited.
some stuff delivered, coming out great.
Got promo stuff coming. I got two up there if you want to show them.
No.
I still
Okay,
haven't
well,
gotten my
then-
car back yet, and I'm waiting to put my air freshener.
Yeah, you guys have the air fresheners.
Because
I have to
I
nail down
want to
our
take a
two newest
picture
things.
in my car with the air freshener, and I can't because I don't have my car back yet.
Well, the air fresheners we've shown on air. I think, did I send you a pic of the two newest items? I don't want to show them on air yet because
I don't think
those
so.
are-
Yes.
Did they?
Yes.
I can't remember.
It's okay.
I'll send it
It's
to you
okay.
again.
It's
but
fine.
those
We'll
are going
figure it
to
out.
be those
I
are
don't
going to be
remember.
mailed down to you shortly. I have an envelope upstairs. I designed some new shirts, which I'm getting just a couple made to see how they came out. So I'm excited about that, and you guys will test them out as well. We have a different promo item, which is
I'm answering this
Gonna be
question
a
without moving my
secret.
lips, Kev.
it's going to be a secret, but I'm excited about the other promo item that we have custom made, and Kara knows what that is, but that won't be arriving for another couple weeks because it's a little more timely, and it comes from China. I can't say it on air.
All right. Well, then I don't know.
Secret
China.
sauce.
No,
Duck
it's-
sauce.
It's the here. I'll write it down.
Yes. Knock everything over, please, while you're at it, and just write all over.
She's got the
Right up-
duster there. She can wipe it up pretty fast. The microfiber
That's not
duster.
a duster.
Read
That's
Oh
for
yeah,
washing
yeah.
cars.
That's right.
Oh, what is it? Oh,
That's
what?
it's a car wash.
Oh,
machine.
car
Yeah,
wash.
car wash.
thing.
Car wash thing.
Yeah.
Actually,
Something
what I
keep
end up
keep on the desk. Yeah.
back when Wyatt was small and he'd take a shower and I'd scrub his back and stuff. I actually got that as a joke, and I used to sing car wash and I'd freaking scrub him down.
That's cute.
So no, I'm not nervous. Yes, excited. Promo stuff you just heard from the promo manager. Just working on boxes right now, getting those completed.
They look beautiful.
And then from there, just, getting them up here, doing 20 count boxes, doing away with the 10 count boxes.
Nice.
20 count boxes that'll take up less shelf room for all 4 blends. I saw the paint job. I think I sent you the pictures of the tops, the lids.
Yeah.
Look freaking great. And then this is going to be on the underside of it.
Okay.
Of the lid, so they could you could prop the lid up in a little groove. We're getting extra boxes made for the next shipment too, just because of everything going on with wood and the pricing and crap like that. Just taking that one step further. But got that going on. Got another couple of projects going on, and then sampling some other barber poles for kind of like a special project.
Yep, working with
Nice.
Joe Genovese on like
Another Guayabera.
an elevated one. This one's
Oh.
gonna kind of really, if we're doing this whole thing, we can't have the Guayabera fall short. So definitely
Yeah.
gonna be a lot different. With
I know.
this
I
one.
actually been seeing some of his Instagram photos of some of his Guayaberas. Man, he's looking sharp.
Yeah, we have a
Yeah.
couple of them, like Mr. Pink
couple?
Bubbles. I love them.
I got more than a couple
Yeah,
of them. I mean,
well, you
Well,
have
yeah.
over 30 of his
I,
shirts.
I still
but-
have one of his originals that he
Yeah.
released that they don't sell anymore, and it's got this. It's an Indian type,
Well, I have a
thing
dress
going on.
that
Yeah,
he
yeah.
doesn't sell at all
Yeah.
anymore, and I took a picture with that the other day. I was like, man, I really got to start wearing this more. But like,
Yeah,
I
it
kind
looked
of,
good. Yeah.
I kind of like want to cherish it though, because like he doesn't make them anymore, so I don't want to ruin it.
Yeah,
It is
it's-
beautiful though. I love it.
Yeah, he's a great guy. His wife's awesome. We got to have him
Yeah.
on the show sometime. I mean,
Yeah.
as a couple, I met them when I worked. The only time I was ever in Tampa. I can't remember which festival it was for. I showed up at the
No,
last
you
minute.
don't get to take a picture that way. Stop!
What?
I don't like the picture. Stop.
Bad angle,
Sorry.
bad angle.
Yeah, Instagram.
It's a bad angle.
I get
Kevin
yelled at all
does.
the time.
Kevin does not take good pictures of me.
Okay.
Solo picture. Picture break.
I sent him a picture. Apparently, that's not good
No,
enough.
I already posted that one. This is for another one.
Oh, because of the cigar that you're smoking.
Yeah.
It's a different cigar. Anyway, anything else exciting going on or new?
Nothing you want to talk about right now.
Yeah,
Okay, that's good.
stuff in the works.
Yeah, I mean a lot.
I just meant in life in general.
No,
It didn't
nothing I
have to
really
be
want- no.
cigar
Kevin just
related.
yawned.
Nothing I want to talk about right now.
Not excited. Kevin's yawning.
I know. Well,
Yeah.
he's taking pictures and yawning. So.
Yeah. But,
Well, I
no.
have a question for you because this
Yeah.
was at the top of the list for me, and here an hour and a half later, I get to ask it.
Yeah.
What's up with leftovers?
Oh Jesus, we're not ending the show with this, are we?
No, we got plenty. We got plenty of time.
We got
left.
plenty of
We're
time.
only 90 minutes into this.
Yeah.
Oh,
So we had pizza and food last night. So we put it in our
I need another
Ziploc.
cigar. Fuck, I need another
You know-
cigar. Can
You
you
should go get one.
Can you hold off real
Yeah,
quick and talk
yeah, I
about
can hold
something?
on.
Okay, I'm gonna go grab
Yeah.
a cigar. You guys talk. I'm gonna give you something to talk about while I'm gone. Talk about little people and
oh, thanks for the
Oh,
thanks for the
there's what Jen
conversation.
sent us.
Oh, that's awesome. Nice.
Those are cool.
Those are
You,
awesome.
you, you got a good person that's doing those. Good pricing.
Oh yeah, great pricing, impeccable. I'm just gonna send one down to you, one of each, so you can see them in person. They're a little big for certain things, so it, like I said, I haven't figured out what we're gonna do with them yet. I'm talking to Joe Genovese as well with one of them to kind of see what we can do, and really just the colors are freaking. It's
No, the color
perfect.
that
Really
one of them's my favorite
fantastic.
color.
Yeah,
Yeah,
same
I-
here. It's really that's kind of my whole new look, and even the T-shirts that I just designed the other day. So I'm getting
Yeah.
one, Kerr. I got you guys one as well, just to kind of see how they look, and it has that new design on it, the retro one.
I love
Okay.
it.
And then I just sent you a link. I don't know if I've sent you this before. unbelievable company. They're here in the USA. Almost all of their products are made here in the USA, and I love them. You have to go through their lineup and just see some of the stuff they have. And if they and what I love about that, and I'm not going to give it away because I don't, it's such a
Right.
you know, I don't want everybody just flocking to this company. But so I was looking to have I wanted some for my the bleeder tools, some which is hard to tell. These are paracord keychains.
Okay.
So you can actually use them in an emergency, undo them. You have paracord. And so I reached out to the company. I'm like, hey, do you happen to make paracord keychains? Because they're really expensive. They're like $5 a piece on eBay. They're crazy expensive. And the lady, my rep, goes, no, we've never made them. Can you give us like what you're looking for? So I sent her a couple of links to a couple of like eBay sites that sell them. And I go, I really kind of want like this style a little bit different. And she's like, all right, give us a week. So she came back like a week later and was like, yeah, we bought some and we put our team to work. And
That's awesome.
This is what they came out with.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I love it. And I'm like, well, what's this going to cost me? And then it was literally like a third of the cost. And I'm like, how are you making them for that? They're like, yeah, we figured it out. So I mean, fantastic job. Like I said,
I'm
and
happy
I,
with
and,
this company.
Yeah.
I'm getting a couple things from them. Their customer service has been impeccable. Like just really gone out of their way, keeping me informed. If something doesn't seem right, they get, what are my thoughts on it. Really have worked with me, and their prices have been right, and really just the products we've gotten so far. The air freshener is one of them. Just freaking, I love it.
Yeah, and then that company that I sent you, they're really known for their challenge coins.
Mm-hmm.
They make them for a lot of the military branches, and so if you want to
I
look
like the
for
challenge coins, but it's just because everyone's doing them now, and it's not like top
Yeah,
of
but
my
people
list to do.
but people love them.
yeah, people love them, and they're and they're good. I want to do another challenge coin, something a little cooler, a little bit different this time.
I guess if it's unique or something different, I don't want anything ordinary right now.
That's the key, is because a lot of people will have like just the round challenge coins, and that company can do literally whatever your imagination is. I mean, you'll have to just hop on their website, just the intricate designs they have. They did a couple for a Navy. They actually made a challenge coin in the shape of an aircraft carrier.
Wow, that's kind of cool.
For this whatever group.
Just now becomes just a metal object then. It's no longer a round coin. We can get one that's an uncircumcised penis and underneath put down I did not consent.
Yeah, have a little blood splatter right there in the middle.
Yeah.
So
I grabbed myself a Bahama Mama.
Good
Okay.
cigar.
Yeah, a Newport rum. It's
The smoke smells
So
weird.
good. It's not. It
just
tastes
flavored.
so good.
It's not.
But
it's not
it
overly
has
bad.
it has like a very light sweetness to it.
There's
I
a
didn't
light
think
sweetness.
they were strong.
It's not bad. The ones that I won from you, Kevin, was it the rum or the whiskey, or was it the
Bardstown blend? I think is the one you sent me the picture of,
Yeah.
which I think is a whiskey or a bourbon or
that
something.
Yeah, I
that one
thought
I
it was
like
a
better. I like that one the best because that one, the flavor is subtle, but it is very spicy.
Yeah,
Yes,
it does have
and that's the only one that I've smoked it several times. I haven't tried the other one yet because I did a couple of the Bardstown. I really liked that one. Those
This
are
one's
good.
sweeter. The
The rum is the one I had. It's
Newport
got
rum.
Yeah, that's the one that I smoked.
So
So
leftovers.
getting back to leftovers, now that Kerr has a cigar. You had
So-
pizza
so-
yesterday.
So we put the leftovers in the fridge. Jessica puts her leftovers on top of my leftovers.
Apparently.
So when I go to put my lunch together in the morning, I just grab the leftovers, put them in there. I didn't check, and then she calls me up or sends me a text. Hey, asshole.
No,
You-
I
you
did
took- you
not.
took
I
my-
did not say, hey, asshole. I said, hey, Kevin, you took my...
I believe you called me.
I didn't call you an asshole. You called me a genius.
Yeah. So,
I didn't call you an asshole.
oh, you flipped me the bird.
I said no. I said, you took my food, Kevin.
Seriously?
No,
And-
because you
and-
didn't answer me.
And because I was doing a video. At
Oh,
work.
see, because it was more
and then
important.
she gave me the finger emoji, and then but I'm like, and so then I came back. I go, hey, genius, you drive right by my shop
But
on
I
your way to
don't.
work, instead of motherfucking me, you could just swing by the shop and pick up your food.
Is that what you said?
Yeah, that's exactly what I said.
First off, I wasn't driving by his shop, but that wasn't the point. The point was, this is not the first time, Kevin, that you've done stuff. But here's the thing. Since I've been with Kevin for the last 5+ years now, if there's leftovers, that doesn't mean leftovers for both of us. That means leftovers only for Kevin. Kevin will all of a sudden, like after dinner, as soon as, if he knows he wants it the next day, he's like,
it's not that problem in this house.
He mixes it all like together. Oh, you know, I didn't want to take any to work or anything. It's cool. Now, Matt, because you know I am correct. You know I am
because
correct.
Jessica will make a big meal that there's you're guaranteed leftovers, and it'll be like, and then like the next day she'll make another big meal, and it's like, oh, we got leftover, and then now I'm scrambling for
he's
leftovers.
Trying to like not admit that he does this.
She does that too, Kevin. Like, same fucking thing.
But I don't eat leftovers.
I know you don't. Nobody. It's
I don't eat leftovers.
I grew up where your freaking mom made a big old meal and there was leftovers because it would last a couple days. Jen's like, I made a freaking 5,000 pound, roast beef and 8 gallons of potatoes, and here's a 50 corn on the cob. What do you want to do for dinner tonight? We got leftovers. I don't eat leftovers.
Well, I shouldn't say that. I'll eat like turkey leftovers because if there's gravy, then you can make like an open face sandwich. I love mashed potato leftovers.
I'll
fry them up with some eggs.
I'll be like, yo, we got a lot of food in the fridge. Which one's gonna die first?
Yeah.
The chicken. Okay, I'll eat the chicken. And I said I'll eat all the leftovers while her and freaking Queen Jen and freaking Prince Joe have a fresh meal all the time.
I'll eat some leftovers. It just depends on what it is. Because like when I make I do, because when I make confetti chili, we eat that for a couple
Anyways,
days.
your story. I don't want to steal the story thunder. I empathize.
I was more annoyed that he didn't like respond, because then I probably would have drove that way to work. But so out of just principle at that point, I was like, I shouldn't have to come to you. Like, you come to me. Like, you come to my work knowing I'm working over 10 hours today when you're leaving at 3 or whenever the fuck you want to leave. I can't. That's literally my lunch and dinner. Like, that's it. Like, I'm not eating anything else for the day. And I just was kind of pissed off, and I knew he was probably doing the video, and I was like, he's just focused on something else. So he did show up, which was actually, I was like, all right. That was the first time ever, and I knew that was hard for you to do, and I absolutely 100% appreciated him showing up.
I was already working, but
working, recording his tech tip,
because the night
poor Luke,
because the night before, because my boss never works on Sundays, and I go, hey, make sure you're here early. Like I said, I got to film my video, I got to edit it, and I got to get it uploaded before we open up. And he goes, well, that's not my problem. I go, well, it is. It is your problem.
That's how he talks to his boss.
Get here early. Even today, like I said, I was leaving, and he said it numerous times. I'm like, hey, all right, I'm leaving. He'll go, what time are you scheduled till? I go, well, that doesn't make any difference. I'm leaving. It's like, now. I'm scheduled till now, for all you know.
Exactly what my point was.
Like yesterday I left work with the new service manager.
You worked for Tires Plus on and off. I mean, the first time you worked for them.
I only left for 3 months.
Oh,
but yeah,
okay.
10 years. So yeah, we have like a new service manager, and she was with a customer yesterday, and only the 2 kids were working. And I'm leaving. I go, hey. She comes out and wants to know where I went. Tell her to go suck an egg. And then I just left. I never even told her. I don't know what she was talking to. It could have been on the car.
Oh,
I'm like, I don't know. I'm like, I'm out.
But, he showed up. That actually was very, very nice. But it was funny because he's like, hey, I'm here. Come out to your loading dock. And I'm like, we're not open yet. I'm sitting in my car. So I see him driving. He's like, I don't see you. I go, because I'm in Graham's car. He's like, I forgot.
So she couldn't come see me because she was in her car TikToking.
I wasn't TikToking.
I literally work 1.5 miles down the road.
But Kevin, it was about the principles, the leftover principles.
It was the fact that, honestly, all the time, I feel like my schedule's a lot more hectic than his in a sense for work. I'm responsible. I can't just leave. Kevin just told you, he basically says, fuck you, I'm leaving. I don't give a shit what time I'm scheduled.
Yeah.
I'm a store manager. I don't have that luxury. And he gives me a hard time all the time. And I'm like, no, you can come to, you're literally can drive to me.
Yeah.
And you did. And I appreciated that.
I'm not the lead.
So we trade. So I took his food, which I would have never ate anyway because I don't like what he got, just out of fucking spite. I was like, now I have your fucking food.
Yeah.
So if you
So
want
Principle
your food,
and spite. Those are great
it was
bookends.
like, so we traded.
Yeah. So I always say I'm not the lead technician. I'm just the lead prima donna.
He is a
So,
prima donna,
I
and
am.
part of me thinks that if I would have called Luke would have freaking gave you so much shit if you didn't come to me and bring me my food. But that was actually very nice, and I know that was hard for you, and I appreciate.
Did you say thank you, Kevin?
I did say thank you, Kevin.
But you weren't.
But he made me get out of the car to get it. He's like, I came here, but you can at least get out of the car and get
So
it.
he didn't just pull right up and you just.
I tried. I
Yeah.
was gonna fling it in the window, but yeah.
That'd have been great.
Yeah.
I would've
Now,
been
how
awesome.
far away was this?
Like 2 seconds. We're 2 seconds.
Yeah,
away
she's a
from each
mile and a
other.
half down the road.
Okay, so
But I've been going a different way to work that brings me literally right to my work. I didn't drive by his work today.
But she could have.
so you take a
I
one
could've.
you take a 1 second route besides the 2 second route.
I could have.
yes,
I
she
could have, but
could've.
I wasn't going to.
But
Yeah.
Out of principle.
out of principle.
Well, then out of principle, like I said, sometimes like she'll need air in her tires. And then
I tell you.
She'll stop at the gas station and spend like 5 minutes and like $2 getting air, and I'm like, you drive by my shop, air's free.
Here's the thing, though. I don't really like going. That parking lot sucks. It's hard to get in. It's hard to get out.
It's a shitty parking lot if you're a woman. Like,
Why?
Wow.
What's
women-
wrong with that parking lot?
because women can't drive. That's what. No, well, okay, women can drive. Women don't know.
Did he hold that up because it's white?
Women don't.
Yeah,
women.
it got very
women
dark
don't,
all of a sudden.
Women don't know how to back up or navigate tight parking spaces. In general, I'm not.
Oh,
I'm not,
you can just keep talking, Kevin.
It is what it is.
Keep talking.
When you see 30 women a day that don't know how to pull into a parking spot or
I've
navigate.
seen plenty of men that can't park either. So.
Oh, yeah,
Me too.
I've seen, but more
Don't
women.
drag me into this.
I
What
didn't
the
mean
fuck?
you.
Oh,
I just said in general.
I know, and it's funny
you
when
don't need
when we
to is implied.
it's funny when we get a Karen in the shop, and I love Karens, especially when they drive big trucks, because that's just like the thing where we're at.
Okay.
Um,
Okay. I think you should just stop talking for
No.
2 seconds about women driving.
So
I think-
what we do is we have like
You're
this
offending
one,
50% of the group.
So we have this one parking spot that's like, it's a bitch to get out of if you're in a precarious spot. So we'll get
your parking.
we'll get a
thing
Karen,
is shit.
and then if she's being a real Karen and carrying it up, so I'll pull her vehicle into this parking spot, and then if one of the kids is backing a car out, and I go back real tight to that one. Oh, it'll take that woman 15 minutes to get out of that
It's
parking
horrible.
spot. Back
That's
and forth,
horrible.
back and forth, and we're just
Basically-
like, excellent.
Basically, it's like going down an alleyway
Yeah,
to park
it's pretty tight.
with like a couple
Yeah,
parking
it's pretty
spaces.
tight.
It is tight, and I know if I go there, they're gonna judge me. So I'm already like freaking sweating. So I don't want to stop there when I know they're just all gonna stand there at their base. Let's see how long it takes her to fucking back this shit up.
That's what we do, too.
And that's what they do.
And you don't
So,
give them shit for it, Jessica?
I mean, I probably could. Luke is probably my biggest, like, Luke and I have a good rapport. Luke and I are both from Jersey. We laugh. It's funny. But Kevin and Eric would probably just fucking make me so uncomfortable
Yeah.
that I just don't like going there. It's always
so
a
it's easier
hot
to go to
fucking-
the gas station, pay the $2 and quarters.
Yes.
And
Then have them stand at their bays like, look at this. Look at her trying to back her fucking vehicle up.
I remember years ago when I worked at the other Tires Plus in Sarasota, Amber came and saw me one day, got out of the car, and I didn't know she had pulled
Oh,
up.
this was in Sarasota. I
In Sa-
remember. Yeah.
in Sarasota, and then we had one of the new kids. He was young, probably 18,
He went
19.
to school with her.
What's that?
I thought. Oh, no, that was a different
yeah.
kid.
So the guys, were like, hey, look at that cute girl over there. So so he's because Amber's gorgeous, and so Robert comes gets me. He goes, hey, look at that new kid ogling your daughter. So he's just like mouth open. She just come from the beach, whatever. So I just sidle up next to him. fuck you looking at? And he's like, that girl. And I go, that's my daughter. And then everybody starts laughing. The kid's like,
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh my god. Yeah, but like the shop itself is pretty like where you are now versus Sarasota.
Oh yeah.
Like the one in Englewood, it's tiny. Just the everything, and it's just like you don't want to go there. Like I don't want to stop there. It's a pain in the ass to get back onto the main road. It's just a nightmare. So I'd rather stop at a gas station, pay $2 to put air in my tire, give you my car, and you bring it to work.
We get so many people that just pull up. They'll pull up behind one.
And they just stop.
And then they honk their horn because they know they get free air. So they'll pull up. They'll just wait. A lot of times I ignore them, especially if I'm on my phone. Like I'll see them. They'll make eye contact. And then I just turn around and I just walk away.
Funny.
And but if they honk, they'll go like a little tap tap, and they're like.
I don't know how many. There's been quite a few times where Kevin's taken the kids and had to like leave them inside the waiting area or whatever, and they have like the table. He's like, here's so like Wyatt's coloring. Gabby's like on her tablet or whatever, and Luke's like, how long are you gonna keep him here? He's like, whatever. Like this goes back to work. There's been a couple times that's happened, and people are just like, all right, there's just a bunch of little kids sitting in here.
Yeah.
It's a waiting room.
True.
Yeah,
it's a waiting room. Yeah.
So,
Wait till you get done with work.
It's just it's a lot easier for me not to pull into that area.
Yeah, that's a roundabout way of saying our parking lot sucks.
It does. It really does. And so I already know that they're judging me. They're watching everything I'm doing. I don't need that kind of pressure in my life.
Yeah.
Especially this morning on principle and spite.
Correct.
Yeah.
Oh, that felt good. I will tell you. It felt freaking good to take his food and be like, I'm never eating this. I don't even care. I hope you enjoy mine.
Did you just throw it in the garbage?
No, I gave it to him.
We traded.
I swapped it.
Yeah. So that's fine. I was good. I had extra food at the house anyway.
Yeah. He goes, oh, you only took 2? I said, well, I wasn't trying to eat your food. I was just trying to make a point.
Yeah, I think it had salami on it. So
I would have done. I would have thrown up.
Yeah,
I would have.
You don't like salami?
Oh.
No, it was an Italian Papa John's. I think it had a salami.
No.
So do you
can't
eat
do
pepperoni?
I do.
But not salami.
Occasionally.
Yeah.
It has to be
Kerr, you're thinking the same
thing. It has to be like charred. Like it has to be charred, like almost black. I don't really like pepperoni. Do I eat pepperoni a lot? Not really. Not a ton.
So
I'm not a huge.
What meats would you put on a pizza?
What meats?
Or do you just do like cheese?
I like to do a margarita myself. I do a Hawaiian pizza, so I eat ham on it.
She don't like pepperoni,
bacon.
but she'll eat ham and pineapple on her pizza.
I love it. It's great.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I don't know what to say.
I'm not huge on meat on my pizza. I don't really want it on my pizza.
No bacon?
I do bacon.
She puts bacon in everything, Kerr.
I was gonna say.
Do you like
So far, you've said you liked every meat on a. Do you like sausage?
Yeah.
I love sausage.
Well,
sausage, peppers,
but I don't like it on my pizza.
Oh, well, that's what I was asking.
Okay. That's what I'm saying is that
You're rattling off like all these meats. I'm like, okay.
I don't really eat it on my pizza. Kevin, you know when I make pizza, I make you one and I make me one, and it's usually a margarita.
Yeah.
I don't really like meat on my pizza.
She puts bacon in our spaghetti sauce.
I do.
Which I do love, but
it's great.
Bacon goes in everything.
But spaghetti sauce.
Well, what I do is I take, I make the sauce. I take ground sausage, peppers, onions, and then I cook bacon, and then I saute the onions and peppers for a little bit in the bacon, and then I put it all into the sauce. It's fucking delicious.
So, no bacon on pizza though.
I can eat bacon on pizza if I had to. It's not. I wouldn't choose it.
But isn't
and you
just
put
like
sausage in your sauce, but you won't eat sausage on a
but
pizza.
But isn't like sauce just isn't like
I'll
spaghetti
eat
sauce
it.
just like kind of like a deconstructed pizza?
Yeah. No, not at all. It's different.
The sauce that goes on a pizza.
It's pizza. It's pizza without the dough.
Yeah. It's just different.
And then you have noodles, which is essentially the dough.
It's different. You I don't know. You can't. you can't figure this out up in here. I haven't figured it out, so you can't figure it out. So.
I'm still going back to the point where I understood where you said that you're the manager, you work, and then you're like, I was just sitting in my car hanging out.
I cannot go into my building until an employee is there. I can't go in alone. I was there early. I get to work early. I don't pull up 2 minutes before we open.
Yeah, she was there early, a mile and a half down the road.
Well, that's my point. It had nothing to do with the whole, like, I understand you're early. That's the responsible thing to do as a manager.
Yeah.
But then I had a laugh. You said you're 2 seconds down the road from Kevin.
Yeah, I wasn't going to him. No, that was not happening.
But why can't you go into your store by yourself? Are you not allowed to?
It's a like probably because they think we're gonna steal or something happened. It's a it's a loss prevention thing, and it's also a safety issue. If say we were held up, or
so they want two people held up instead of one.
Yeah, apparently.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can't. And if you enter the store by yourself, you have to contact loss prevention right away.
Really?
Yeah.
That's interesting.
Which I've had to do before because the other person who's opening with me, whatever employee I scheduled, might have called in sick or is running late, and I'm not going to sit there for 30 minutes waiting for them to get there. So then I contact the LP and let them know I had to enter the building myself. So
interesting.
Yeah, you can't go in by yourself, and you can't leave by yourself. You always have to have one person with you.
It's like swimming buddies.
Yeah.
Thunder buddy.
Interesting. Thunder buddy.
Yeah.
So I had to
Bless
sneeze.
you.
Kazoo tight.
Thank you. But so I know that was really hard for you, and I really appreciated that. I really did. I was so upset. And it was just because I was just like, I didn't want to fucking be at work. I'm like overtired, and I was like, I really wanted that fucking pizza that I ordered, and he took it. And I knew deep down inside he would have ate it. And then ate his, and that's what I think I would.
Yeah, I would have ate it. Yeah,
he would have ate it.
Yeah.
He would
So
have.
you were already like 10 steps ahead on what Kevin would have done with all the pizza, and it was making.
Yeah,
I'd have eaten all
right
of it.
there. I was like, no, I'm not. So now he can't even have his. I would never have ate his, but I was like, I'm taking it. And he's just not getting it now.
That's hilarious.
So it worked out. But I was very upset this morning, mostly because I know he saw my message and didn't answer me.
So what leftovers do you have tonight for tomorrow?
We don't have any leftovers.
Well, actually, a friend of ours had a barbecue. He was actually 2 streets over at his mom's house, had a barbecue. So they actually, literally 5 minutes before the show started, he brought us a bunch of pulled pork and beans and a bunch of leftovers from his party.
Ooh, yummy.
There you
go. Yeah, my dinner was my pizza.
Yeah. So
that's what I ate for lunch and dinner because I knew I wasn't gonna eat anything when I got home. So.
Sorry.
So.
Well, I guess on that note, it's been two hours.
We're getting better.
Yeah, we are.
We're getting better.
Getting better.
I'm Kevin.
I'm Jesse.
I'm Kerr.
I'm Jen.
And remember,
bullies make good friends.
Locate file.
You gotta be kidding me! Exact same freaking.
It did it again.
It did it again, and it's I have never moved.
No.
Any of this shit. I really haven't.
I don't get it.
I don't get it either. It's
very quirky computer.
No, it's not
it's Apple.
No, it's not Apple. It's Ecamm. I think Ecamm gets quirky like this from time to time. And
it could be because it's an Apple.
No.
That's Kevin because he's an ant.
Well, I got it.
Got it?
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. I'm Kevin.
I'm
Jesse. Oh!
Oh, I think it's the first time Kerr
He
jumped
jumped the
in.
gun.
I just stepped all over your fucking name. I'm horrible.
All right, I'm Kevin. I'm Kevin.
I'm Jesse.
I'm Kerr.
I'm Jen.
And remember,
Bullies
make
make
good
friends.
friends. Jess, you were way
Jess,
early.
what did you...
It's Broadleaf